On a rainy day in the Texas Panhandle, we bring you inside where it's nice and dry as the Amarillo Wranglers host the Shreveport Mudbugs in the final game of the season series. Hi everybody, I'm Chiarenza, and the Mudbugs won big last night. Wranglers looking to get the split on the weekend and for the season series with a big win on home ice here today. It is the season series conclusion between the Wranglers and the Mudbugs, all coming within a 15-day span. So down the stretch, these two teams will not see each other. It'll all be settled here in the last 2 weeks and change. So, terrible weather outside. That's fine. Coming to the bullpen where we got a good game on tap. Amarillo enters the matchup with a record of 8-5-0-2, 18 points on the season. They sit in third place in the South Division. Shreveport right behind them, 8-5 on the year, 16 points on the season for fifth place in the South Division. Now, in between the Wranglers and the Mudbugs are the El Paso Rhinos, who are playing the Grit tonight. And so the Rhinos with 16 points as well. If the Wranglers end up on the wrong side of things, it could be a three-way tie there for third place. And for Shreveport, if they are to lose, then they would stay behind the Wranglers, and the Wranglers would extend their lead between El Paso and Shreveport. Of course, yesterday, Shreveport won big in this building. 7-3 was the final score, but I think the game was not as lopsided as one might think, as just by looking at the final score from the game. Shreveport did win by 4, but the Wranglers outshot the Mudbugs 39-30 in Friday's contest, and Grayson Gerhardt in that top line remained red hot as Gerhardt got the game's first goal. He now has 4 goals and 5 assists in his last games, putting together a 6-game point streak. So does Corson McGuire with the assist on Gerhardt's goal. Morton extended his point streak to 5 games with an assist on that opening goal. And we'll talk about them as the night goes on. Trace Day also on a bit of a heater himself. He had a goal yesterday for the Wranglers, 2 goals and 1 assist in his last 3. He has a point in all 2 games that he's been back in the Wranglers lineup since he was suspended in Lone Star. Drew Hannes picked up his first goal as a Wrangler. It was the Wranglers' 3rd goal yesterday. His first as a Wrangler, first in the North American Hockey League. Look to see if he can build upon that performance here today. And the Wranglers split 2 goalies yesterday. Charlie Zoling got the start. He stopped 11 of 16. He was replaced by Charles Antoine Girard, who stopped 12 out of 14, coming in about the midway point of the game. We'll see Girard getting the start between the pipes for the Wranglers this evening. As for the Mudbugs, Kian Haldenby stole the show. 2 goals, 3 assists. It was a 5-point outing for number 24 in black. 5 goals and 9 assists in his last 6 games. He's on an impressive point streak. He's putting up impressive numbers. We'll see if he can keep that up for the Mudbugs tonight. Aiden Pooley, 1 goal and 2 assists, 3 goals and 3 assists in his last 4 games. He's got a point streak going. Liam Doyle, a goal and 2 assists on the blue line for the Mudbugs. What was his 2nd multi-point game of the season. Ian Emery also notched a goal and an assist for his first multi-point game of the year. And Seth Murch, another blue liner for the Mudbugs, had 1 goal and 1 assist in yesterday's contest. He now has 1 goal and 3 assists in his last 3 games. All of Murch's points have come on his 3-game point streak. Between the pipes yesterday, it was Aiden Garapi for the Mudbugs, stopping 36 of 39 shots that he saw for his 6th win of the season. And Garapi, in what was his 8th consecutive start, will get a bit of rest here tonight as the Mudbugs will see Nikola Goish between the pipes for the first time since September 25th against New Hampshire. Goich has not played since then. He'll get his first start in quite some time. And Garapi gets the night off. Interestingly enough from yesterday, the Mudbugs winning 7-3, but their big guns Brent Litchard and Lucas Deeb were held pointless. And so it just goes to show for the Mudbugs, they're a team with a lot of depth, and they don't need their big guns to show out every single night. They've got other guys that can step up in the lineup. And, of course, with Kian Haldenby's big night, he's making a big case as to why he should be this week's South Division First Star of the Week. Now, you look at the South Division First Star of the Week from last week, and he's on the Wranglers side. Grayson Gerhardt, 4 goals and 5 assists in his last 6. Very impressive against Colorado. And we take a look at that Wranglers first line and how good they've been. Almost every single goal, seemingly, for the Wranglers is produced by that line. Gerhardt, talked about how good he's been. McGuire leads the team in points. 3 goals, 5 assists in his last 6 games. And Andrew Morton, 3 goals and 5 assists in his last 5. They've all been on fire. Gerhardt stole the show against Colorado. 2 goals and 3 assists for a +5 rating to win the first Star of the Week award. You got to think if the Wranglers are going to come away with the win tonight, that line is going to have to play a factor. But other guys in the lineup are also going to have to step up. And I think Carl Jacobson is one of those guys that could do that. Jacobson this season has 6 points, 2 goals, and 4 assists. Crew Hannes, with his first North American Hockey League goal yesterday, is showing signs of just growing every single game that he plays. And it was great to see Hannes get his first goal in the league. And now I think that he's got that one under his belt. I think the rest are going to start flowing from here on out. So watch out for number 22 in white for the Wranglers this evening. Also look out for Daniel Resega on a line with Trace Day and Carl Jacobson. It's been good to see Day getting back in the lineup, and it's good to see him producing right off the bat. That line of Jacobson, Day, and Resega has proven that it can score. And for the Wranglers, we know that first top line is really, really good. Question is can they get some more scoring throughout the course of the lineup? That second line is showing flashes. Hannes is looking good. And Ben Cameron enters the lineup here tonight, playing in his 7th game as a Wrangler. I think that could be a guy that could also score some goals for the Wranglers here tonight. As it's the Wranglers and the Mudbugs on a Saturday night here in November. Election Day is just around the corner. And tonight, the theme is ballots and breakaways. And so we, with the Amarillo Wranglers, encourage everybody to go out and vote ahead of the election if you can, or on Election Day, as that is our right as Americans. And so that's the theme here tonight, ballots and breakaways at the Budweiser Bull Pen. Crowd is still filing in. It's looking to be a good one. And we know it's going to be a good game on tap, as it always is when the Wranglers meet the Mudbugs here on NATV. We'll be back in just a moment here for the starting lineups between these two clubs. But first, a word from our local sponsors.
Your ordinary jobs deserve extraordinary quality. Skip the big box and save with Flex Tech and Austin Hose. With crush-resistant fittings and superior resistance to abrasion, weather, ozone, and oil, Flex Tech water hoses provide outstanding strength at a value that washes the competition away. And be sure to make those ordinary jobs that much easier with our vast selection of Quick Connect fittings. And now, take simplicity one step further with the Dixon Constant Flow Nozzle. Simply twist the nozzle head to adjust from a wide to long spray pattern to tackle any job. And it's internally sealed for easy installation, leak-free handling, and true water shutoff. Rated up to 300 PSI, FlexTech air hoses provide the durability and cost efficiency of PVC with a look and feel that simulates the flexibility of a traditional rubber hose. Pair your FlexTech air hose with the Milton blowgun, and even your toughest jobs are an absolute breeze. So when you're tired of the ordinary, put FlexTech to the test. Call Austin Hose today.
Welcome back to the Budweiser Bull Pen, where the Wranglers and the Mudbugs are set to hit the ice any moment from now, which means it's time to get tonight's starting lineups presented by Austin Hose. We'll start with the visiting Shreveport Mudbugs and that big first line that is producing at an astonishing rate as of late. It's number 21, Gleb Akimov at left wing, standing at 6'2", 187 pounds. The Russian has been on fire for the Mudbugs as of late. Picked up an assist yesterday to extend his point streak to 7 straight games, as he has 3 goals and 7 assists in that span for 13 points in 11 games on the year. He's centered down the middle, the red-hot number 24, Kyan Haldenby, standing at 6'1", 190 pounds. The native of Toronto, Ontario, is playing some of his best hockey of the season right now. Haldenby has 5 goals and 9 assists in his last 6 games for a point streak, as he leads the team in goals with 5 and a 3-way tie, 12 assists and 17 points, the leader in all 3 categories. Haldenby finished last night with 2 goals and 3 assists for a 5-point outing. To his right, number 29, Aiden Pooley, 6'3", 180 pounds, Ontario native. Pooley extended his point streak to 4 games, 3 goals and 3 assists in his last 4. He had a goal and 2 assists yesterday. He is tied for the team lead with Haldenby and Deeb with 5 goals on the year. So that's the starting 3 for the Mudbugs. I think for the Wranglers yesterday, when they did a great job of shutting down Litchard and Deeb, have to find a way to continue to do that throughout the course of the Mudbugs lineup. You look at those guys, Akimov, Haldenby, and Pooley. Those are the guys that the Wranglers need to shut down tonight if they want a chance to win. On the blue line yesterday, the Mudbugs got a lot of production from their defense, and it all started with number 4, Seth Murch, who gets the start tonight, standing at 6 foot even, 185 pounds. Murch is committed to Air Force, as he had a big game yesterday, the goal and an assist. Murch has 4 points in 13 games on the season, all coming in his last 3 games. He'll be paired up with number 5, Liam Fleet, standing at 6'2", 200 pounds. The Denver, Colorado native is committed to the University of Alaska Fairbanks. We'll round out the starting 5 skaters for the Mudbugs. In other news for Shreveport, David Earhart gets into the lineup, and so does Remy Pusateri on the blue line, and Noah Ribeiro will slide in on the 4th line, wearing number 41. Mudbugs dressing an extra forward tonight. It's listed as Bryce Boucher. And getting the start between the pipe for Shreveport today in his first appearance since September 25th against New Hampshire at the Showcase, it's number 30, Nikola Goich. Goich on the season has played in 3 games, has a record of 2-1, a 3.33 goals against average, and an .875 save percentage. After he had a 10-6-0-1 record, a 2.47 goals against average, a .906 save percentage last season with the Mudbugs. So Goich gets the start, and that's the starting lineup for head coach Jason Soupy Campbell's Shreveport Mudbugs. The associate head coach is Michael Hill, and the backup to Goich tonight is number 35, Aiden Garapi. Now let's get to tonight's starting lineup for your Amarillo Wranglers. Who else would it be? The starting line for the Wranglers is the red-hot line of Gerhard, Morton, and McGuire. At left wing, the reigning South Division first star of the week is Grayson Gerhard, standing at 6'3", 190 pounds. He is currently on a 6-game point streak. Gerhard on the season has 5 goals and 9 assists for 14 points in 15 games. 4 goals and 5 assists in his last 6. He's been red hot, as has Andrew Morton down the middle, number 27, standing at 6 foot even, 182 pounds. The Ontario native is on a hot tear as well, with 3 goals and 5 assists in his last 5. He had an assist yesterday on Gerhard's goal. Morton on the season has 11 points in 13 games. His right wing today will be number 19, Corson McGuire, getting the start. The old 1-9er stands at 5'10", 183 pounds. The native of Toronto, Ontario, is the Wranglers' leading point scorer and is also on a 6-game point streak. McGuire on the season leads the team in goals with 6, assists with 10, points with 16. McGuire has 3 goals and 5 assists in his last 6. The Wranglers will need to rely on that top line to produce here tonight if they want a chance to win. It is Gerhard, Morton, and McGuire getting the start at the forward position. On defense, it'll be number 4, Ashton Breyer, standing at 6'5", 195 pounds. The native of Mound, Minnesota, will be paired up with number 9, Sal Serrato, with his parents in the house, standing at 5'7", 165 pounds. The St. Louis, Missouri native has been excellent on the blue line for the Wranglers this season. And so you get a 1-2 punch of defense and offense with Breyer and Serrato. That's your starting D pairing for the Wranglers. And in net tonight, number 1, Charles Antoine Girard, standing at 6'4", 174 pounds. The Quebec native was seen yesterday in relief of Charlie Zolan, stopping 12 of 14 in the 7-3 loss to the Mudbugs here. Girard on the season, still in search of his first win, but he's played great in every single time we've seen him, as Girard has a record of 0-2, 0-1 on the season, a 3.68 goals against average, and an .891 save percentage. The last full game that he played was against the Mudbugs in the 5-1 loss at George's Pond on October 18th. And so that's the starting lineup for head coach Taylor Harnett's Amarillo Wranglers. The assistant coaches are Brandon Richardson and Connor White. And so in other news for the Wranglers, Ben Cameron slides in, as does Nolan Davis at the forward position. Divine Apollon out tonight, as is Luke Goldberg. Top 3 lines looking pretty much the same from the last couple of games, although Rasega moves to the left wing, Day to the right, with Jacobson remaining as the center. And on the 4th line, Davis will go at left wing, Olislav down the middle, and Ben Cameron as the right wing. Nikita Ushikov remains the extra forward, as the Wranglers are dressing 6 defensemen tonight. Mills Skeltons is out in favor of Hayden Hedquist, who will be paired up with number 5, Will Sinclair. Heikki Paipanen will be paired up with number 2, Will Sinclair. For the Wranglers here today, as Amarillo hits the ice here tonight, as we get ready for the final game of the season series between the Wranglers and the Mudbugs. Shreveport currently leads the season series 2-1. So the Wranglers looking for the split on the weekend and in the season series, and the Mudbugs looking to take it all themselves and tie the Wranglers in the season standings. That'll do it for our pregame show here on the Wranglers Hockey Network, brought to you by Austin Hose. Coming up next here from the Budweiser Bull Pen, a couple of ceremonial puck drops and the national anthem as we get set for first period puck drop between the Wranglers and the Mudbugs. We'll be back in just a moment here in downtown Amarillo. We are all set and ready to go from the Budweiser Bull Pen as the Wranglers host the Mudbugs in the final game of the 4-game season series. Shreveport took yesterday's game 7-4. Wranglers looking to turn it around and pick up a win before Odessa comes to town on Thursday. Nikola Goich makes his first start between the pipes for the Mudbugs since September. For the Wranglers, it is Charles Antoine Girard looking for his first win of this season, as a critical 2 points are on the line as we now shift the scene to November, and every point counts. 3-man officiating crew here tonight, led by Mr. Ottenberg. LePeau and Ennis are the 2 linesmen. Fans fired up here at the Budweiser Bull Pen. It's a good day for hockey, good day for 2 points, And when it's as rainy as it's been outside, you might as well come down to the Budweiser Bull Pen to enjoy an ice hockey game between two South Division heavyweights. Andrew Morton will take the opening draw against Cayenne Haldeby to get us started. And away we go from downtown Amarillo. Morton wins the opening draw. The Wranglers shuffle the puck in deep. After it is McGuire. Murch gets there first. Helping out is Morton. Gets it back to McGuire. Off the pad of Goich. And the Mudbugs will skate it free. Wranglers getting a good look early on, but the Mudbugs denying them that opening bid. Now deep in his zone end. Sal Serrano finds Morton at the goal line. His pocket is picked by Pooley. He'll move up the near sidewall. Go to the high slot, take a shot. That whistles wide of Gerard. Serrato claims the rebound behind the net. Mudbugs poking at it. Wranglers able to jostle it out to center. And gliding in is Gerhard for a dump and chase. He gets stood up by the Mudbugs. Slips free to Day. And a one-time shot is eaten up by Goich for the first save on either side. That stops the clock 45 seconds into the first period. For the Wranglers, this is the kind of start you need after losing 7-3 yesterday, and a game where the Wranglers did a lot of really good things, but just couldn't find a way to capitalize on their chances, and it seemed like every time the Mudbugs got one, they scored. Long shot by Day is tipped out in front. Wranglers can't stuff it in. We get a whistle here as the puck escaped the zone 52 seconds in. And so looks like this puck is coming back into the Mudbug end for a draw to the right of Goich. And the question is for Goich, who has sat on the shelf for as long as he has. Wranglers trying to test him early. Will he have any rust on him? As Sinclair flings one towards Goich. Easy for me to say. He makes the stop and sends it out of play for his second save of the game. And that coming exactly 1 minute into the first. So the Mudbugs get a line change. Wranglers' second line out there of Day, Rasega, and Jacobson. Take this next face-off to the left of Goich on the far circle of the Mudbug zone. Draw one by Shreveport. Remy Pusateri making his first appearance of the weekend. Will bank it off the near wall out to center. Bugs move it to Foster Nickel on the far wall. And from the red line, he will pound it around Gerard to the near wing. McKay backhands it deeper. Jacob Miller tries to throw a check on Smith. Mudbugs keep possession for now. Puck battle ensues on the far half wall of the Wrangler zone. And picking it free is Trace Day. Lobs it to the neutral zone, tended for Rasega. Pusateri gets there first, and the Mudbugs have control. They will float it into the Wrangler end. It settles down in front of McKay. Welburn cuts him off and gets to the puck first. Mudbugs in the middle of the change as the Wranglers move in transition. Phillips will pop it on goal from the blue line. Centering feed goes to Deeb as the Mudbugs take flight in transition. In the far corner, they'll move it from low to high. Unable to keep it in was Murch, and here comes Phillips on the right wing. Phillips all alone, backhand try, and oh, what a stop by Goich. Phillips moves it back up to the line. Breyer angles it into the far corner, and now a whistle as the net has come off behind Goich. 2:13 into the first. So the Wranglers buzzing right now. Morley Phillips rumbling in towards Goich. Moves from forehand to backhand, and Goich kicks out the right pad to make the stop. As there's only 3 shots in the game so far, all belonging to the Wranglers. We're still scoreless here in the opening stages of the first. Draw in the near circle. He's controlled by the Mudbugs. They'll scoot it over to Earhart on the left wing. He'll take a couple whacks at it and deliver it beneath the goal line. Nolan Davis there for the Wranglers emerges from the pile. And the Wranglers able to knock it out to the neutral zone where it'll be fielded by Doyle. Doyle yesterday, 1 goal and 2 assists, big game for him. That was his second multi-point game of the year. Puck squeaks over to his D partner, Bodie Wise, who will fling it around to the left wing for Earhart. He looked to leave it for a trailer. That was Ribeiro, but getting in there is Ben Cameron to jolt it down for a Wrangler icing. So Cameron, who is looking to go off for a change, has to stay out there. As for the Wranglers right now, the 5 are Davis, Cameron, Morton, Sinclair, and Hedquist. And the Mudbugs take that opportunity to get a line change, as Parichka will take this draw against Morton on the far circle. Parichka wins it cleanly. Shot by Slemonera is blocked by Cameron. Puck rotates around to the near corner. Wranglers will heave it out to the neutral zone in what should be another icing, and it will be. So that stops time 3:07 into the first. And in yesterday's game, this was about the point where Grayson Gerhard scored the first goal of the game for the Wranglers. And what looked like the Wranglers were buzzing, doing all the right things. They were going to go down. They scored. And afterwards, that's when the Mudbugs really started to pick up steam, and they never really looked back after that. But enough about yesterday. Today's a brand new day. Everybody starts 0-0 at the beginning of a game. And so Doyle has it at the left point. Is forced out of the zone by Cameron, who now finally gets to go off for a change. It's Doyle on the right wing, passing it to himself behind Gerard. Welburn cuts him off for the moment, throws a thunderous check on Parichka in the far corner, dislodges him from the puck, and the Wranglers try and jolt the puck out, although the Mudbugs hanging on as Doyle at the left point backhands it deep behind Gerard. Welburn now in open space, moves it to his D partner Will Sinclair. The former Pueblo Bull gets it up to Gerhard, and he will angle it around to the far wall where the Mudbugs will return it to the neutral zone. Puck in deep. Fans take up a "Let's Go Wranglers" chant as the Mudbugs are forced to backtrack out to the neutral zone. They'll tap it in deep. Jacobson getting there first. Now the Wranglers again punching out to center for Gerhard on the left wing. Looks to drop it off for McGuire. Pass was a little too far away from him, and stepping in front is Haldenby. Here he goes. Haldenby cuts between the circles, drifts towards the right side, tries to find a man in the slot, and the Wranglers are able to break it up. Haldenby, fresh off of a 5-point night, has to be on the Wranglers' radar here today. They can't let him have another performance like that if they want to win. Serrano on the far wall. Sidesteps McKay. Looks to pound it forward for a pass. Is able to knock it to Day. Top of the left circle. He'll rip it off a leg and out of play. So 4:55 into the first. We get a whistle and a face-off incoming in the Mudbug end. Drawn to the right of Goich. Jacobson to take it against Emery. He and Emery with a goal and assist yesterday as Jacobson wins the draw. Serrano from the line moves it to Day for a one-time shot that goes up and over the head of Goich. On the rebound, Jacobson strips Smith of the puck. Zips it beneath the goal line where Wise will wisely survey the scene and emerge from behind his own cage. On the left side, he connects with Doyle. He'll streak forward into the far corner. Around the net he goes on his backhand. Now swerves on his forehand to deliver it to Emery behind the net. Two Wranglers are there. They're able to strip him of the puck and jolt it out to center, where Doyle will handle it. Meanwhile, behind the play, Breyer and Emery are going at it. And now they'll rejoin as the Mudbugs look to start their next breakout. On the right wing, it is McKay. Looking for reinforcements. There were none as the Mudbugs were in the middle of a line change. So now it's Serrato with it. Wranglers D-men leading the team in shots with 44 as the Mudbugs get it back down the right wing. Look to centering a pass to Earhart. And it goes astray as the Wranglers were there defensively. So now they'll jolt it into the Mudbugs end. Behind the net it goes. Pusateri finds Litchard up ahead. Pass with to Earhart connects as he will pound it in, but not before he takes a check from Welburn. Welburn from the red line. Powers down the right wing, was to take a shot, but the Wranglers are offside. 6:20 into the first. And so we'll get a face-off coming in the neutral zone. For Will Welburn, he scored his first North American Hockey League goal against Colorado in the home opener last Friday. This is a guy who is playing in his 9th game as a Wrangler. has seemingly become more comfortable every single game that he plays and has looked good. He brings a lot of physical presence to the Wranglers. As Wilburn, standing at 6'9", 240, is a big, big man. He deals at the pipe and in on the near side wall. There's a little bit of trouble handling the puck as the Mudbugs get it, but luckily for the Wranglers, it is a hand pass, and so that stops the clock with 13:21 left in the first. And on comes the Davis, Cameron, and Olislov line. And this faceoff is actually going to come out to the neutral zone. So it'll be Olislov against Perichka at the dot. For the Swede is the victor, and the Wranglers have the puck. Sinclair to Hedquist. Looks to outlet to Davis. It goes off his stick and deep. Chasing is Ben Cameron. Almost forces a steal, but Goich will cover with 13:08 left to go. And we have the game's first penalty. So what have we here? Ben Cameron going to the box. Looks like tripping is the call. And so the Mudbugs get the night's first power play. So for Shreveport, their power play is as good as can be. 23.9%, that is fourth best in the league. For the Wranglers, their penalty kill, 79.3%, that is 28th in the North American Hockey League. As players get tied up off the faceoff on the near circle, and Gerhard will heave it out to center, where Doyle will have to jumpstart things for the Mudbugs. Talk about this Shreveport power play, one of the best in the league. Wranglers penalty kill and surrendered a power play goal in each of its last 4 games. They look to stay clean here today. As at the line, Doyle handles it and shoots. And Gerard gets a piece of it as there was traffic out in front. Smith had the screen. As on the clearing attempt, the puck stays in. We'll get it up to Akimov in open space. He'll shoot and score. Gleb Akimov from the top of the left circle rips it upstairs for the opening score, and the Mudbugs lead it 1-0. And so Akimov extends his point streak. Kyan Haldenby does as well. 21 and 24 combined for the game's first goal. So Gleb Akimov picks up goal number 5 on the season. It's a 4-way tie for the Mudbugs and the team lead in the goal department. Extends his point streak to 8 games, 4 goals, 7 assists in that span, and Haldenby extends his point streak to 7 with 5 goals and 10 assists on the power play tally. So the Wranglers look to get started here to tie it. Centering feed from Jacobson does not make it today as it is picked off by Boucher. He'll pick his head up and churn his way up ice, and from the red line will pop it in on Gerard, who will hang on with 12:04 left in the first. So with Shreveport scoring the first goal, it's a good time to mention that when the Mudbugs score first, they have a record of 6-3. The Wranglers, when trailing first, are 4-1-0-1, and that's a pretty impressive record to have when you surrender the first goal of a game. So this is a resilient Wranglers bunch.
Your ordinary jobs deserve
plenty of time to come
quality.
back as the Mudbugs dump it in, as the Wranglers dump it in. The Mudbugs get there first, so it'll be an icing on the Wranglers with 11:57 to go in the first. Draw will be to the left of Gerard. Morton will take it against Litchard. The Mudbugs have it at the line. It's Murch keeping it in. He'll fling one into the far corner, and the Wranglers get a tap on it, and it's Morton. Looks to glide his way up ice. Gets checked on the near wall. Gerhard able to hang on to possession for the Wranglers. Centering feed goes into the hands of Erhard, who will move it forward to the neutral zone. Mudbugs angle it into the far corner, onto the tape of Litchard. He hangs on to the puck, and the Wranglers get a skate on it to direct it out to the neutral zone. First 3 shots of the game belong to the Wranglers. The next 3 to the Mudbugs. The most recent one found the back of the net off the stick of Gleb Akimov. So from the red line, the Mudbugs will scoot it into the far corner. Sinclair nicks it up to McGuire, who turns up ice and finds Hedquist on the left wing. He will zip the puck in as the Wranglers get a line change. Serrano from his own blue line. It's it poked away by Seminara. He gets decked down at the blue line, and that will draw a penalty as Morley Phillips takes offense to what Seminara just did. And so if nothing else is added, the Wranglers will get their first chance on the power play here tonight. Seminara takes a seat. Holding is the call. And the Wranglers get their first power play. Wrangler power play operating at 12.5%, 29th best in the league. Mudbug penalty kill, 87.8%, 10th best in the North American Hockey League. And this Mudbug penalty kill has been on a hot streak as of late. They have not allowed a power play goal since October 5th against Oklahoma. They've gone 13 for 13 since, including going 2 for 2 yesterday, as they get an opening clearance, so the Wranglers have to start from their own ends. Hannes will knock it into the zone, and the Mudbugs return the favor by jolting it back out to center. Hannes on the re-entry feeds Rasega. Rasega drifts into the far corner, returns it to Hannes. A crew of Mudbugs bundles them up and delivers it back down to Gerard for a clear. 1:20 left on the Wrangler power play. As the Mudbug leader in penalty minutes, Seminara is currently serving his 2-minute sentence. Fans making some noise, looking to see the Wranglers tie the game as Morton bounces to the outside, centers one behind Gerhard, makes its way to Serrato, who keeps it in the zone. Mudbugs pressuring, Haldenby with it, slides it all the way down for another Shreveport clear. .45 seconds left here on the power plays. The Wranglers look to jumpstart things. Gerhard flings it in deep off the end wall. Mudbugs will propel it back out for another Shreveport clear. Gerard plattles it up to Gerhard. He backhands it to Serrato. Wranglers spring up ice as number 9 takes flight. They'll drop it off for McGuire, who chucks it into the far corner. Day now at the half wall, moves it to Morton, now up top at Serrato. To the left wing for a shot, and it was tipped out in front as Day was doing a flyby in front of Goich. He was able to make the stop. The puck ends up back in his hands for a stoppage with 9:03 left in the first period and 12 seconds remaining on the Amarillo power play. Morton will take the face-off against Emery on the right wing. They'll win it. Wranglers try and bat it to the line, but a little bit of miscommunication there as it splits the D, and we'll go back into the Wrangler zone. Serrato trying to get one last try on the power play as Serrato cuts towards the net, looks to feed McGuire, and he couldn't get a shot off as we're back to even strength. Now in the near corner, Day being hounded by Fleet, leaves it for Morton, who knocks it to McGuire. He'll rotate play over into the far corner. We're streaking down his Pipinen. Morton tries to slip free. Day gloves it down. Fans on the shot attempt. Gets it to McGuire, who plays it across to the right wing for Day. We'll feed it into the corner. And back up top, it splits the D again. And so Pipinen will have to go into his own territory to retrieve with 8:13 left in the first. The Wranglers 0 for 1 on the power play so far today. Mudbugs are 1 for 1 as Ushakov looks to connect with Davis. Pass out of his reach. Pusateri will field it deep in his own end and turn it over to Davis in the far corner. Olaslav behind the net. Nice dangle. Look to stuff it in as Goich made a left pad save. And the Mudbugs escape any more danger. As Pooley on the right wing looks to Get another one for the Mudbugs. Haldenby over to the right side. Gerard a stop on a quick shot by Akimov. And he'll hang on with 7:39 left in the first period. It's a timeout on the ice. We will take one as well. It's the Mudbugs 1 and the Wranglers nothing with 7:39 left in the first. We'll be back in just a moment after these messages from our local sponsors.
And get on down to Hooters.
Work. It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Back here at the Budweiser Bull Pen, Mudbugs have a 1-0 lead off of Gleb Akimov's 5th goal of the season. Wranglers looking to tie it up. We'll have to start from their own end as it is a face-off to the left of Gerard on the near circle of the Wrangler zone. Miller to take it against Parichka. And they get tied up off the face bug. Mudbugs have it at the line. It's Wise to Doyle. Left circle shot. Gerard the save. The puck is loose. Parichka claims it. He'll move it from low to high. Now at the left point, it's Doyle. Spinning away from the pressure of Phillips. Finds Seminara beneath the goal line. Get it to Ribeiro. Now at the line. Quick pass to the left side. And a shot is taken by Doyle. That screeches wide. Miller with it. Deep in his own territory. Skates it out of his own zone. Takes a check in front of the scorer's table from Seminara. He delivers the puck back to Parichka. Doyle from his own blue line. Connects with Earhart at Wranglers blue. Now Parichka takes a left side shot and he scores. It tipped off the glove of Gerard and ended up in the back of the net. And the Mudbugs have a 2-goal lead. So it's 6:50 left in the first period. The Wranglers find themselves down by 2. As the Shreveport Mudbugs look to get back to work, they'll slide it in deep. Wranglers pick it away as Pipinen emerges through the neutral zone. Goes across to McGuire. Now the Mudbugs get the puck back in their own end, as it is Parichka with his 2nd goal of the season from Earhart and Doyle. He's got the Mudbugs up by 2. So Liam Doyle continues to have an impressive weekend. As here's Earhart in the neutral zone. Zipping it forward out of the reach of the intended receiver. The Wranglers will possess and streak up ice. It's Morton flying through the neutral zone. To the left wing, connects with Gerhard. And his quick shot goes wide of Goich. And the Mudbugs will just feather it out to the neutral zone. Shreveport leads the score 2-0. They also lead the shot count 7-4 after the first 3 shots were taken by the Wranglers. McKay from center ice. Tries to flip it to Litchard. Instead, it ends up on the stick of Hedquist, who threw a nice fake on Litchard, sent him sliding down to the ice. He will pummel it in as the Wranglers look to go on the attack. Day in the high slot takes a shot, goes off a stick, and hits the end wall. Now in the near corner, the Wranglers jostle for it. 2 Wranglers, 2 Mudbugs are there. The Wranglers are the victors. It's a shot from the left point, goes wide. Another try goes off the outside of the cage from Sinclair. Sinclair at the right point, keeps it in the zone, but not for long. The Mudbugs able to muscle it out to center. Wranglers reclaim the puck as Day will shovel it forward. Smith now will nick it into the Wranglers zone as Amarillo will possess. Stretch pass on time for Day. On the left side, he shoots. Didn't get enough on it, as defending him nicely was Liam Fleet. So the Wranglers looking for the home run pass there. And Day, a guy that has got one of the better shots in the league, probably one of the best that I've seen. Didn't get enough wood on it, as Fleet was able to get in the way. So with 4:44 left in the first period, number 44 for the Wranglers, Day, goes to the bench. And on comes the Morton, McGuire, and Gerhard line for a draw on the near circle of the Mudbug ends. It's Gerhard against Haldenby. Haldenby wins the face-off, gets it to Fleet in the near corner. Back to Haldenby. Another quick pass, and the Mudbugs are off to the races. It's Pooley down the middle, looking to split the D. Wranglers having none of it. Will hurl it to the neutral zone, where it settles down onto the stick of Fleet. Another series of quick passes, and the Mudbugs are right back in. From the outside, it's Haldenby taking a quick shot that is stopped by Gerard and held for a stoppage with 4:20 left in the first. So the Wranglers making some lineup changes after yesterday's game, the 7-3 loss. Davis, Cameron, and Hedquist all in. Apollon, Goldberg, and Skeltons are out today. Gerard gets the start. Lubomov is the backup. As the Wranglers look to get back in the win column. Ribeiro will sweep it behind Gerard. Richard gets a stick on it. Ends up onto the tape of Ushakov. He tried to level it out of the zone. Instead, it's held in by Parichka on the right wing. Bodies converge. Mudbugs whack at it. Wranglers looking to settle down the puck. Olislov is able to do so, but takes a check in the process. And possession is returned to the Mudbugs. Pass offline for Shreveport. They will get the puck back, though, as Ribeiro will play it over to Doyle. Will meander through his own zone. This is the first time we're seeing Ribeiro in the season series, as he claims a pass at the Wrangler blue line, and will just cast the puck in and head to the bench. Welburn quickly up ahead, finds Ushakov at the red line. He will zing the puck in off the end wall, which is angled into the glove of Goich, who holds on with 3:23 left in the first. And now you've got a couple of bodies coming together for a spirited affair that is quickly broken up. Morley Phillips in the middle of it for the Wranglers. I believe having some choice words for Lucas Deeb. And everybody that was out there for that sequence will stay. So Miller will take this face-off against Litchard on the near circle of the Mudbug zone. Miller scored a goal in the Wranglers' 3-2 win on October 19th at George's Pond, his first of the season. As the face-off is won by the Wranglers, Phillips muscles away from two Mudbugs beneath the goal line, and now catching up is Deeb, who will arc it to the neutral zone, where it settles down onto the stick of Sinclair. Quick pass to Hedquist, and the Wranglers look to spring up offensively. At the left point, Hedquist takes a check, keeps it in the zone, but not for long. Although the Wranglers do have it again. Sinclair from the right circle glides in for a shot that is stopped by Goich. He took some contact afterwards and tempers Flair with 2:55 left in the first. And Phillips still out there. Of course, always in the thick of it. It's a big-bodied line for the Wranglers, the line of Phillips, Hannes, and Miller. Each guy standing at least at 6'3". Miller and Phillips are both 6'4", so Hannes the shorter of the trio as they go to the bench. As on comes the Jacobson, Rasega, and Day line. Sinclair and Hedquist remain out there for the Wranglers. Jacobson. Take a face-off against Emery on the right wing. Mudbugs fish the puck away and rim it out to the neutral zone. And now Sinclair outlets to Ushakov, who directs the puck into the Mudbug bench for a stoppage with 2:45 to go. So the shot count 8-5 in favor of Shreveport. Now keep in mind the Wranglers did outshoot the Mudbugs 39-30 yesterday. And it was a game that seemed like every time the Wranglers had something cooking, they just couldn't find a way to execute and finish on plays. And it seemed like anytime the Mudbugs would get a break, whether it was from a turnover, puck luck, or simply just in transition, they would score. And that's how you get a 7-3 final. Face-off right at center circle. Day to take it against Emery. And the Mudbugs win another one. They'll shuffle the puck into the far corner for an icing. Just 4 seconds after the face-off. I don't have an official count on what the face-off win percentage is, but so far it looks like the Mudbugs have done a better job of getting possession off the draw. Wow, another one here to the right of Goich on the near circle of the Mudbug end. It's Jacobson to take it against Emery. And the Wranglers win that one. And Serrato can't keep it in on a pass from Day at the right point. And so the Wranglers will start from their own end. And Serrato gets it back. He'll pick his head up. Feed it to Jacobson. He races after it in the near corner. Takes a big check. Resega with it now to Serrato, who flubs on the one-time chance. Now Breyer dances at the left point. Keeps it on his stick. Dashes it down low for Day. High shot is stopped by Goich. And he will cover up with 2:09 left in the first period. Not a bad shift there for that line as all 5 go off. And fresh blood comes on. Just a reminder that at the conclusion of the first period, we will have the first intermission report brought to you by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. We'll recap all the events of the first 20 minutes and preview period number 2 as Morton down low, fans it to the middle, and McGuire scores! The Wranglers get on the board, and Corson McGuire remains red hot. It's McGuire's 7th of the season that cuts the deficit to 1, and the Wranglers are off and running. With 2:03 left in the first, McGuire gets the goal. I believe Morton got the primary assist. As the Wranglers get their first of the night. Gerhard gets the secondary assist, so for the second straight night, the Wranglers' first line combines for the opening goal for the Wranglers, and each guy extends their point streak. So for Gerhard and McGuire, their point streaks are extended to 7 straight games with a point, and Morton extends his to 6. So for McGuire in that span, he now has 4 goals and 5 assists. Gerhard has 4 goals and 6 assists, and Morton has 3 goals and 6 assists in his last 6 games. And so we talked about it in the pregame show. The Wranglers' first line needing to stay red hot. If the Wranglers want a chance to win this game, you can check that one off the list. Mudbugs control off the ensuing face-off. They'll jar the puck in, settled down by Gerard. Pipening claims it, looks to spring it to McGuire. Holding at the line is Doyle, who pounds it all the way into the near corner. Wranglers exit the zone as Gerhard muscles out to the red line. We'll trade possession with Pipenin, who will move it back to Gerhard. Pipenin goes down on the near wall. Gerhard keeping possession for the moment. Mudbugs trying to rip it away, and they will. Wranglers re-enter down the middle. Phillips catches up to the puck, gets a stick on it. Tries to knock it in deeper. The Mudbugs are there to meet him defensively as we're into the final minute of the first period. Seminara gains center red, now Wrangler blue. Back to Parichka, over to Seminara. Centering feed, intercepted by Hannes, and turned over to Parichka as his shot is blocked by the Wranglers. Dangerous sequence there, but they come away unscathed, and Crew Hannes grimacing as he moves to the bench. Wranglers work the puck in deep. Miller and Day battle for it in the far corner as bodies converge. Puck is kicked away onto the stick of Parichka. And now gaining the red line was Ribeiro. He knocks it in deep. Murch on the left wing. Goes around the net, has it knocked away by Breyer. Murch gets it back on his forehand, looks to shoot, and a shoulder save is made by Gerard. 5 seconds to go in the period as Litchard cycles to the line. One-time shot by Seminara does not matter as a penalty is called with 2.5 seconds to go. We'll see who the guilty party is. It'll be the third penalty of the game. So far there's been one on each side. And it'll be Seth Murch going to the box for Shreveport for interference. So it's a Wrangler power play, their second of the night. They're 0 for 1 so far. With 2.5 to go, you think that this has got to be a set play here. Win the face-off and get a quick one towards the net. Otherwise, we're going to start the second period with just about a full 2 minutes of power play time. Face-off will be to the right of Goich. Well, nope, check that. Move it to the left of Goich. Morton to take it against Emery. Watch out for Will Welburn here if Morton is able to win this for a quick shot. He does, but leaps over the stick of Gerhard, and that'll end the first period. So the Wranglers opened the second period with 1 minute and 58 seconds of power play time as the Mudbugs lead it through 1. It's 2-1 Shreveport after 20 minutes of play. The Mudbugs lead the shot count 9-8. As we will recap the entire first period, we come back on the Wranglers Hockey Network for the first intermission report brought to you by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. It's Shreveport 2 and Amarillo 1 through 20. We'll be back in 3.5 minutes after these words from our local sponsors.
Down to Hooters, have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
Work. It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Your ordinary jobs deserve extraordinary quality. Skip the big box and save with FlexTech and Austin Hose. With crush-resistant fittings and superior resistance to abrasion, weather, ozone, and oil, FlexTech water hoses provide outstanding strength at a value that washes the competition away. And be sure to make those ordinary jobs that much easier with our vast selection of Quick Connect fittings. And now, take simplicity one step further with the Dixon Constant Flow Nozzle. Simply twist the nozzle head to adjust from a wide to long spray pattern to tackle any job. And it's internally sealed for easy installation, leak-free handling, and true water shutoff. Rated up to 300 PSI, FlexTech air hoses provide the durability and cost efficiency of PVC with a look and feel that simulates the flexibility of a traditional rubber hose. Pair your FlexTech air hose with the Milton blowgun, and even your toughest jobs are an absolute breeze. So when you're tired of the ordinary, put FlexTech to the test. Call Austin Hose today.
When you know where you're going, you do what it takes to move forward. For me, that means money in the bank, saving cash. So this is my ride, my granddad's old truck.
Saving is cool again, especially with fantastic rates and free checking at A&B.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
No, it's it's me, the A&B guy. Amarillo National Bank. Amarillo before bank.
We want to help you thrive no matter what stage of life you're in. Your prescription for well-being starts at United Supermarkets, where your neighborhood pharmacists are here to give you the care you need when you need it. From expert consultation to personalized care and all your wellness essentials, and giving you your best shot at prevention with immunizations, we understand that every step towards health is a step towards happiness. So whether you're picking up or we're dropping off, we're here for you.
AMA TechTel is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet, we don't have any phones, we have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown, AMA TechTel already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA TechTel. They're that important.
Welcome into the first intermission report, brought to you by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages, where the Mudbugs have the lead. 2-1 is the score through 20 minutes of play. I'm Guy Chiarenza here on the Wranglers Hockey Network, and what has been a pretty interesting game so far. It was the Mudbugs that got things started with 12:28 left in the first period. Levin Kimov from Cayenne Haldeby on the power play gets the show started for the Mudbugs as they pick up right where they left off, as they extend their point streaks by another game. For Haldeby, he extends his to 7 with the assist. 5 goals, 10 assists in that span. For Akimov, his goal extends his point streak to 8. 4 goals and 7 assists on the streak. So the Mudbugs cash in on the power play in what is one of the league's best, and they show exactly why. Quick rip by Akimov in open space. Goes upstairs on Gerard for the game's opening goal. Mudbugs would tack on another with 6:50 left in the first period. That coming from Parichka, who had it glance off the glove of Gerard and into the back of the net. For Parichka, that's his second goal of the season, coming from Earhart and Doyle to make it a 2-0 Shreveport lead. But hang on. Before we head into the first intermission, 2:03 left in the first. I'll give you a second to take a guess as to who you think scored that goal. Well, if you guessed Corson McGuire, then you'd be correct. Every single night, it's this line producing for the Wranglers. McGuire gets his 6th goal of the year from Morton and Gerhard. Pinch me if you've heard that one before. Every single day, these guys continue to produce, and it's got to put a smile on the face of head coach Taylor Harnett. So McGuire gets the goal, and that's actually his 7th goal this season, So McGuire gets another one. McGuire gets his 7th goal this season and gets his 17th point overall. And he now has 4 goals and 5 assists in his last 7 games. And Gerhard with the assist has 4 goals and 6 assists in his last 7. And Morton now has 3 goals and 6 assists in his last 6 on McGuire's 7th of the year. So, Wranglers' top line continues to buzz, and they get a goal in the back of the net. Now, at the end of the period, Seth Murch took a penalty for interference. Wranglers did not score on the 2.5 seconds that they had. So they'll open the second period with 1 minute and 58 seconds of power play time. So almost the full 2 minutes, and we'll see what they can do. And if the Wranglers are able to score on this power play, well then it's a 2-2 game and it's a brand new one. So you got to think the memo for the Wranglers is get some rest in the intermission, come out, hammer it home, get that next goal of the game to tie this thing up on the power play. Now, for the Wrangler power play, up until yesterday, they had been buzzing, but unable to get things done against the Mudbugs on the man advantage, going 0 for 2 yesterday against a very good Shreveport penalty kill that has not allowed a goal since October 5th against Oklahoma. And so they have gone 14 for 14 since, with a stop earlier in this game. Meanwhile, the Wrangler power play had scored in their last couple of games, comes up empty-handed yesterday, and so they'll look to get back on track with a PPG here at the start of the second period. And for the Wranglers, they seem to be a good team when playing from behind. Now, the Wranglers have 4 wins when they score first. They have 4 wins when they trail first. But the difference is the Wranglers 4-4-0-1 when they score first. That did not happen today. The Wranglers 4-1-0-1 when they trail first. And so, for whatever reason, it seems like this team just, when they surrender the first goal, it's kind of just like, we got time. We got time. We'll get it back later. And they somehow find a way to do so. So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments are made from period 1 to period 2 by head coach Taylor Harnett and his crew. And for Jason Soupy Campbell, the head coach of the Mudbugs, this is a guy that night in, night out seems to always have his team ready to play. And so the Mudbugs take a little bit of heat at the start of the first period from the Wranglers, who get the first 3 shots of the game, but the next 3 belong to Shreveport. And then on that third shot, that's when the goal from Akimov was scored on the power play. And so for the Wranglers, I think the message from yesterday remains the same. You got to find a way to stay out of the box. You can't let that Shreveport power play go to work, because most times they will score. Tonight, they have. So don't give them another opportunity. And one of the themes of yesterday was that the Wranglers needed to play some smarter hockey against the Mudbugs. And what we mean by that is there were a lot of turnovers from the Wranglers. There were a lot of mistakes that could have been avoided. And, there was a couple of chances that Shreveport had that the Wranglers could have prevented. And so I think here today the Wranglers have played a much cleaner game, a much smarter game. But there's still a couple of errors that the Wranglers need to shore up, because the Shreveport Mudbugs are a team where if you give them a bite to eat, they'll just eat the whole meal, right? You give them a little bit, whether it's a turnover, some open space, some room to roam, some speed to let them go into the transition game, they're going to take that and they're going to score almost every single time. And we saw that yesterday in what was a 7-3 game. So for today, the Wranglers doing a much better job defensively and taking care of the puck, keeping possession and not turning it over. And they need to continue to do that through the second and third periods if they want to have a chance to win here today. And, Charles-Antoine Girard so far has stopped 7 of 9. But both of those shots that ended up going behind him were very, very similar. Both coming from the top of the left circle, both going glove hand on him. And the second one did hit him in the glove and ended up in the back of the net. So for the Mudbugs, that seems to be their sweet spot on the ice. And so for Girard and the Wranglers, you got to find a way to nip that in the bud, stop that from happening for the rest of tonight, and make the Mudbugs earn their next goal if they are to get one. And for the Wranglers, they're in search of another one as well. We'll talk about how they might get that goal we come back on the first intermission reports. We'll also take a peek at our out-of-town scoreboard and see what's going on a busy Saturday night in the North American Hockey League. As it's the Mudbugs 2 and the Wranglers 1. We'll be back on the intermission report presented by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages after a couple of words from our local sponsors.
Have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
Work. It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. we always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Your ordinary jobs deserve extraordinary quality. Skip the big box and save with Flex Tech and Austin Hose. With crush-resistant fittings and superior resistance to abrasion, weather, ozone, and oil, Flex Tech water hoses provide outstanding strength at a value that washes the competition away. And be sure to make those ordinary jobs that much easier with our vast selection of Quick Connect fittings. And now, take simplicity one step further with the Dixon Constant Flow Nozzle. Simply twist the nozzle head to adjust from a wide to long spray pattern to tackle any job. And it's internally sealed for easy installation, leak-free handling, and true water shutoff. Rated up to 300 psi, FlexTech air hoses provide the durability and cost efficiency of PVC with a look and feel that simulates the flexibility of a traditional rubber hose. Pair your FlexTech air hose with the Milton blow gun, and even your toughest jobs are an absolute breeze. So when you're tired of the ordinary, put FlexTech to the test. Call Austin Hose today.
When you know where you're going, you do what it takes to move forward. For me, that means money in the bank, saving cash. So this is my ride, my granddad's old truck.
Saving is cool again, especially with fantastic rates and free checking at A&B.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
No, it's it's me, the A&B guy. Amarillo National Bank. Amarillo before bank.
We want to help you thrive no matter what stage of life you're in. Your prescription for well-being starts at United Supermarkets, where your neighborhood pharmacists are here to give you the care you need when you need it. From expert consultation to personalized care and all your wellness essentials, and giving you your best shot at prevention with immunizations, we understand that every step towards health is a step towards happiness. So whether you're picking up or we're dropping off, we're here for you.
AMA Techtel is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet, we don't have any phones, we have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown, AMA Techtel already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA Techtel. They're that important.
Welcome back to the Budweiser Bull Pen, where we've got the YMCA going on. There's a rambunctious group to my left over in section, I believe, 130. Having some fun over there. Meanwhile, it's the Mudbugs leading 2-1 through 20 minutes of play. Kimov and Parichka, the 2 goals for the Mudbugs. McGuire's 7th goal of the year has the Wranglers on the board at the tail end of the period. And for course, McGuire, he's been scoring so much, it's hard for me to keep track of how many he has. I thought he had his 6th. That's his 7th, so sorry, Corson. You just keep on scoring. And so that's a good problem to have. McGuire, his 7th of the year, leading the team in that department. And so the Wranglers, first line continues to produce, but you look throughout the course of the lineup, and they need some other guys to step up. I think that second line of Jacobson, Rasega, and Day is due for a big breakout. Trace Day has a point in every single game since his return, his last 2. Watch out for him as he scored yesterday for the Wranglers. Daniel Rasega has a lot of speed. And this is a guy that I think the more he plays and the more he touches the puck and the more minutes he gets, he's only going to get better and better. I think the question now is when is that breakout going to happen for Daniel Rasega? And I feel like we're on the cusp of it, and I think he's got the right line mates to do it with Jacobson and Day. Look out for that second line for the Wranglers. The other thing that we were talking about, especially against Colorado, was the Wranglers needed some help from the blue line. They needed their defensemen to kind of help out offensively and join the rush, create opportunities from the blue line, because up until that point, they hadn't really been getting a lot of production on the blue line outside of Sal Serrato, who leads the team in points among all their D-men. So you look and you see Breyer with Serrato. Breyer is more of a defensive defenseman to be paired up with Serrato, and I like that. You get that offensive punch from Serrato. You get that defensive kick from Breyer. That's been a good pairing all season long. You've got Hedquist and Sinclair, and that's an interesting one because it could be a pairing similar to Breyer and Serrato. Sinclair started the season on a hot start, had 4 assists, and he's been quiet in terms of point scoring ever since. But I feel like Sinclair, which is a guy that had a lot of points in the NCDC with the Pueblo Bulls, 37 in 51 games. If he can find a way to get to that kind of form for the Wranglers, look out, because that could be just what the doctor ordered for the Wranglers offensively. And you've got Pipinen and Welburn together tonight, and Pipinen has shown flashes of being an offensive defenseman, but I would consider that more of a defensive pairing for the Wranglers there. So if you can find a way to just have some defensemen start to produce and kind of chip in offensively to the point where you see a goal being scored by a forward and one of the assists coming from a defenseman, I think that would help the Wranglers out a lot. And it'll be interesting to see that fourth line as the night goes on. Ben Cameron, Nolan Davis, two very hungry players. They're tough on every single shift. They will go out and fight for you, tooth and nail, to make things happen. And also a very smart two-way forward. Look out for that line, because that could be one of the lines that could get scoring for the Wranglers here, as that's the first time we've seen all three together for the Wranglers. So maybe let them develop some chemistry. Good things could happen. We'll see. But the Wranglers, in search of another goal, will have a crack at it on the man advantage to start the second period. And so we'll see if the Wranglers can get a power play goal here against the Mudbugs to tie this game up at 2 at the start of the second period. That'll do it for the first intermission report, brought to you by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. I'm Guy Chiarenza, and coming up here from the Budweiser Bull Pen, we will have second period puck drop between the Wranglers and the Mudbugs. First Saturday of November. Wranglers and the Mudbugs going at it. Interestingly enough, this is the second game of the two-game set. The Wranglers, when they have a week to rest, they are 2-3-0-1. The Wranglers, in the second game of a set, when they have no rest days, really, just have to play the next day, they are 6-2-0-1. So, the Wranglers much better as a series goes on. So far, doing much better than yesterday. 2-1's the score, which is where we were at the end of the first period in yesterday's game. Wranglers need a big second period to tie this up and take the lead. They have a good chance to do it on the power play to open the second. It's Morton to take the draw against Emory, as the Wranglers have 1:58 to start the period on the power play. Shreveport wins the opening draw in the second period. Hard for an opening clear. Now, pass up ahead from McGuire is offline by a couple of feet, and so that's an icing on the Wranglers 15 seconds into the period. And so the faceoff comes back into the Wrangler end. A 5 on the power play right now. Day, Morton, Gerhard, McGuire, and Serrato. So 4 forwards for the Wranglers, 1 defenseman, which is Sal Serrato. Meanwhile, the Mudbugs sending out Emery, Boucher, Wise, and Doyle for the penalty kill. Gerhard turns it over, and there's a shot in the slot that's stopped by Gerard. Errant pass ends up onto the stick of the Mudbugs, and Gerard bails out the Wranglers. Is on the near wall. Mudbugs heave it towards the line and slap it down for a clear with 1:20 left on the Wrangler power play. And that is the kind of stuff that we saw in yesterday's game that helped the Mudbugs to a big lead, and that's where things get out of hands for the Wranglers. They have to be smarter with the puck, as they'll roll it around to the near wall. Morton looks to get it up to Serrato, and the pass is intercepted by Haldenby. He'll exchange for a shot by McKay that goes over the net. So far, the Wranglers unable to get really anything going here on the man advantage, as Day will skip it back to Serrato to start the next charge with 50 seconds left on the man advantage. And again, another errant pass goes astray, and it's a free clear for the Mudbugs. Wranglers can't connect on another pass, and so Shreveport bangs it down again. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Yesterday, the Wrangler power play looked good. Just couldn't really get anything going. As streaking down the right wing is Hannes. Loses a handle on the puck. Jacobson crashes in to help out. Feeds it to the middle for Rasega. He drifts back into the near corner. on his forehand, twirls it to Jacobson. Centering pass goes up to the left point for Pipinen. He'll dish it to Resega at the left half wall. And the pressure gets to him. Mudbugs fling it to the line, but it's held in by Sinclair. Resega now, left circle, goes across, and they score! A bomb from Carl Jacobson finds the back of the net, and the Wranglers have tied it at 2. .201 into the second period. The Wranglers have tied it at 2 apiece. Carl Jacobson has his 3rd goal of the season. And it's a brand new game here at the Budweiser Bull Pen. First 2 belong to the Mudbugs. The next 2 belong to the Wranglers. Very important. They chalk it up as Jacobson from Pipinen and Sinclair, although I believe it was Resega that flung the puck across for the shot by Jacobson. As in tight is Phillips for a shot that stretches wide. The Wranglers buzzing with energy. As at the line, Miller flubs on a shot. He'll backhand it to the neutral zone to the safety of his defense. The Wranglers thump it in behind Goich. As a puck battle ensues in the near corner, Jacob Miller in the thick of it. Crashing in to help out his Hannes. They'll spring it up to Phillips for a shot. Just turned away by Goich. Now from the left corner, Pipinen creeps in. They'll knock it to Ushakov, whose quick shot is snared by Goich with 17:15 to go in the second period. Draw on the far circle of the Mudbug zone. It's Olislov against Haldenby. Olislov on the season, 2 goals and 4 assists. Coming over from Sweden, where he had 9 points in 50 games, so he's well on pace to have. As at the left point, Breyer has it. He'll hold for a second, creep in and shoot. And another glove save is made by Goich with 17:08 to go in the second. So Olislov and Haldenby will duel again on the far circle. Haldenby wins it, drops it off for Fleet. He'll power it to the left point. It'll go by Breyer, and the Mudbugs take flight. It's Pooley trying to deke between the circles, and Ben Cameron catches up to make a defensive stand. As they will twiddle the puck in. No icing there, so the Mudbugs will slide it over to Murch. Now Haldenby at center circle, returns it to Murch at the line, and the Wranglers poke it away. It's Davis down the right wing for a shot that's stopped by Goich. Puck loose beneath the goal line is collected by Fleet, knocked ahead by Haldenby. Breyer on the near wall, knocks it out to the neutral zone from McGuire, whose quick pass is picked off, intended for Gerhard. Shots are 10 apiece, and the score is 2 apiece, with 16-12 remaining in the second period. Gerhard from the left wing feeds it to the middle where Breyer will hold it. On the right wing, he shoots, and a snapper is held onto by Goich with 15:54 left in the second. Wranglers getting some good chances here in the second period, converting on one from Carl Jacobson. And it is not a power play goal from Jacobson. It was close. It was close to being one, but the penalty had expired by about 3 seconds. And so it's an even strength goal from Carl Jacobson. And they gave the assist to Sinclair and Pipinen. We'll have to check the tape, though. I believe Rasega was the one who fed the pass across. As puck battle in the near corner goes Shreveport's way. On the opposite side, it is McKay exchanging with Pusateri, who will zip it forward off a stick and in towards Gerard, where Hedquist will collect and pass it forward. So Sinclair does get the point. It's his 5th assist of the season. And if Pipinen gets the assist, it is his 2nd point as a Wrangler. Now Rasega streaking in down the left wing, pinches the puck and springs it to Morton on his forehand. Morton shoots, and it goes over the goal. Momentum carries the puck to the right point where Hedquist looks to keep it in. He does. Feeds it to McGuire. Now over to Rasega. Left side shot is blocked by Pusateri. Rasega will twirl it into the far corner for Morton. Clanks off his skate to Rasega. He'll drift up higher to Day. Day spinning away from the pressure. Whips it towards the goal. It's careening back into the Wranglers zone. Pipinen with it in open space. He'll pick his head up and distribute it to the left wing out of the reach of Day. That'll be an icing on the Wranglers. 5:35 into the second. So if you think back, and if you were with us on the Wranglers Hockey Network 2 weeks ago in Shreveport, where the Wranglers won the second game of that set at George's Pond, in that game the Mudbugs had a 2-0 lead, and the Wranglers scored the next 3 to win the game. Well, the Mudbugs had a 2-0 lead here, and the Wranglers have scored the next 2. So we'll see if history repeats itself, or if the Mudbugs have another trick up their sleeve, as it is a face-off to the right of Gerard. Won by the Mudbugs. Murch across the fleet. Right point shot blocked by Pipinen. The Wranglers able to spar it out to the neutral zone and a little bit more. In the far corner, Fleet will flip the script and send it along its way along the near side wall. Fleet still with it. Chip and chase. He'll go after it himself. Pipinen there first as he wheels it around to the far wall for Day. He'll relay it back to Pipinen, who, feeling some pressure, is able to escape for the moment. Will force the puck to the neutral zone, and the Wranglers whack it across, looking for Jacobson. Murch gets a stick on it to tap it into the stands for a stoppage. 6:13 into the second. So one Wrangler fan is going to come away with a souvenir here today. Let me get the face-off in the neutral zone. So it's Haldenby against Miller. And he will be tossed out in favor of Hannes. So Haldenby against Hannes. Meanwhile, Phillips is going at it with the Mudbug on the near wall. That is a Kemov. Those two have been going at it all night long, as the puck is flung into the Wranglers zone. Wise from the far corner moves it up top to a Kemov. Doyle backhand pass to the left wing for Haldenby. Pass across connects for Wise, and they pump it in on the back door. It's Aiden Pooley with to take the lead again. Surgical passing from the Mudbugs, and the Wranglers' 2-goal rally comes to an end. Shreveport has their third to make it a 3-2 game. So Shreveport now with the lead again. We'll float it into the Wrangler end softly. As behind the net, make that Earhart sets up shop. Centering feed is broken up by Hedquist and company. And will move through the neutral zone. Hedquist pushes the puck around to the far corner. Olislov is there, as is Cameron. Fleet able to emerge from the pile-up. Distribute it to Murch, who on the left wing connects with Deeb on the dump-in. Hedquist off the end wall. Has the puck boomerang back to him. Now Sinclair springs it up the right wing wall and get a delayed penalty here as the Mudbugs touch up, and it looks like the Wranglers going to the power play on a slashing call that goes against Earhart. So it's the Wranglers' third try of the night. 0 for 2 so far, but the Jacobson goal was scored just moments after the penalty had expired. And off the ensuing face-off, the Mudbugs will control. Wise from the far corner will hack it out to the blue line, and the Wranglers keep it in. McGuire in open space drifts towards his right, and he will stash it around the goal into the far corner. Mudbugs get a hand on it. Send the puck on its way to the neutral zone. Now skating in is Doyle. And McGuire on the back check able to break it up. Now Boucher's tough on the puck. Again tries to power forward, and the Wranglers scrambling back into position are able to make a defensive stand. McKay on the forecheck almost forces a turnover. Wranglers glide down the left wing. It's Gerhard. He'll cut towards the inside. Dish it across for Day, and in the middle, almost was tapped in by Morton. Instead, it's a puck battle on the far half wall. Gerhard brushes it to the middle, and the Mudbugs get a stick on it. Get the puck out to the neutral zone for a clear. Now on the forecheck, Haldenby forces Serrato to backtrack. Now they pass to Day in open space. He'll cut towards the goal. Backhand try. Goes up and over the cage. Now Jacobson from the near corner moves towards his forehand. He'll move it from low to high. Serrato from the right point whips a shot that's blocked, and the Mudbugs take care of the rest for another Shreveport clear. Wranglers get a line change as the second unit comes on. 25 seconds left on the man advantage. It is Sinclair over his own blue line to Resega. Resega on the outside. Takes a check in the far corner. Wranglers crash in to keep the puck. Centering feed leaps over a couple of heads. Resega gets it back on the left circle. Moves it up to the high slot for Jacobson. Fumbles the puck, gets it to Pipinen. He can't handle it. He'll whack it over to Hannes in the near corner as the penalty has expired. Now we got another one coming up as there was some pushing and shoving in the puck battle, and so we'll see who is the culprit. So they peel guys away from the pile, much like you would see in a football game. And looks like this one is going to go against the Mudbugs as the door to their box is open. Well, all right, guess I should never go to this casino anytime soon. It's going against the Wranglers. Crew Hannes is the guilty culprit. Cross-checking is the call. And I will not be placing any more bets in the foreseeable future. So the Mudbugs to the power play. They've already cashed in once. It's Pooley on the right wing, dropping it off for Smith. Return pass to Pooley, connects and drift up the wall to the half wall. Move it to the line for Doyle. Returns it to Pooley, across for a one-time shot, and Gerard makes a right pad save. And the net comes off, they'll blow it dead. 22 seconds into the Mudbug power play. And when Shreveport starts moving the puck around like that, look out. Most times it ends up in the back of the net. That's pretty much what we saw on the Mudbugs' third goal, the most recent goal in this game, except that was 5-on-5. Scramble for it beneath the goal line. Pooley has it. Top of the left circle. We'll trade it to Haldenby. Now back over to the right wing. It's Pooley for a shot. Gerard a quick save. And he pounces on the rebound for a cover-up with 9:51 to go in period 2. A minute and 24 seconds remain on the Mudbug power play as they send out a fresh unit. Wranglers will do so as well. It's Day, Sinclair, and Olislov. The Wranglers do get a clear off the draw. Racing after it is Olislov. He gets there first, is able to poke it just as Fleet was catching up. And now he creates a turnover. What a shift here from Olislov shorthanded as time drips away on the Mudbug power play. Shreveport reclaims the puck, but lost some time due to the hard work of Alexander Olislov. Now behind the net, the Wranglers whacking out to the blue line where it's held in by Fleet. Pass across to the left wing is off the mark for Parichka. He battles trying to get it back. Wranglers pump it up to the left point, but again, Fleet holds it in. Litchard now from the left wing goes across looking for Deeb, and Hedquist gets a touch on it, so Deeb couldn't rip off the one-timer. Now Litchard has it at the line. He'll backhand it over to Murch. At the half wall, he stashes it beneath the goal line for Parichka. Now up high, it's Litchard. Right circle, he'll shoot, and a glove stop is made by Gerard. 8:52 to go in the second period. 25 seconds remaining on the penalty to Hannes as we are over the midway point of this game. So for Litchard and Deeb, who were out there on that last power play chance for the Mudbugs, they were held without a point yesterday, a rare occurrence that's only happened 4 times. Now the Wranglers have done that twice this season. The first time was in the 3-2 victory at George's Pond. Interestingly enough, as well, neither guy registered a shot in yesterday's game. As down low, it is Smith from the far corner, moving it from low to high. Pewley to Doyle on the blue line. Has trouble holding on to the puck, moves it to Pewley. In the high slot, it is Akimov. Drop off for Doyle, and a long shot is stopped by Gerard. And the penalty expires. The Wranglers get the kill. It remains a 3-2 game. One of the big storylines of yesterday's game was while Deeb and Litchard both held scoreless, didn't seem to matter. The Mudbugs still got 7 goals on the board, and Haldenby and Murch, two of the big point producers for the Mudbugs yesterday, each had 5 shots. So, again, it's a Mudbug team that has a lot of depth. It seems like they can score every which way. As the Wranglers see the puck clink off a couple of skates, they will just chuck the puck out into the neutral zone and a little bit further as Gerhard backhands it to the middle. Could not connect with McGuire as play shifts towards the near wall. Now Wise, beneath his own goal line, creeps into the corner. Will play it over to the near wing for Foster Nickel, who gains the red line and scoots the puck behind Gerard. But only for a moment as the Wranglers catapult the puck back out to the neutral zone, and the Mudbugs return the favor by doing the same as they ship it down to Gerard. Welburn on the right wing loses his balance. Puck ends up on the tape of Resega. It'll ping-pong around a bit, and now streaking forward are the Mudbugs. Ribeiro across to Murch, and kicking it out was Gerard. Fleet from a drive at the line. Gerard to stop. The puck is loose, and they score. Ribeiro cashes in on the loose puck, and the Mudbugs have their 2-goal lead back at 4-2. So Noah Ribeiro gets his second goal of the season, playing in game number 6 on the year. The primary assist and the only assist goes to Bryce Boucher. His first assist of the season. He now has 3 points in 14 games. And the Mudbugs get their 2-goal lead back. It is now a 4-2 game. After the first 2 belong to Shreveport, the next 2 to the Wranglers, and the most recent 2 back to Shreveport. So Wise over in his own ends. Pitches it over to Doyle. On the right wing, it's Earhart creeping in. He'll stop on the half wall, pitch it towards the middle. Pass is intercepted by Sinclair. He'll jolt it forward for Day. He'll burst down the left wing for a shot that is off the mask of Goich. Now up ahead, it's Haldenby one-on-one, and he's shut down by Gerard. What a big save there from Charles Antoine Gerard as Haldenby crept forward in transition. He snuck by the defense, and Gerard keeps it a 2-goal game. The Wranglers are able to come back in this one. Remember that save from Gerard. Draw will be on the far circle of the Wranglers zone. Haldenby to take it against Jacobson. Carl Jacobson with a goal here today. Haldenby with a pair of assists. Will be kicked out in favor of Pooley, who is also having a good night. Scoring his 6th goal of the season as Pusateri launches one towards the goal that is wide of the mark. Wranglers able to deal it out to center, and at the red line the Mudbugs reclaim it as darting in is Pooley on the right wing. They'll go around the goal, try and wrap it in, and Gerard kicks out the right leg to make the stop. It looks like the net came off on that play, so we get a whistle here, and that'll stop time with 6:04 to go in the second frame. Shot count 20-13 in favor of the Mudbugs, and at one point we were tied at 10 apiece. As in the second period, the shot count is 11-4 in favor of the Mudbugs. Face off to the right of Gerard. The Mudbugs win it. Smith slides down the left wing. Centers one looking for Emery. Left over to his stick. Now Murch has it. Fans on the initial attempt. And the second is blocked by Miller. Now in the neutral zone, it's Day. The Wranglers might have numbers as Miller back to Day for a shot that is shouldered aside by Goich. Right point, Serrano, a bomb. Kicked out by Goich. And the Mudbugs will paddle the puck into the Wrangler end. No icing. With just about 5:30 to go in the second period. And now it'll go the length of the ice the other way for an icing against the Wranglers with 5:29 on the clock. It is the 24th all-time meeting between these two clubs. Shreveport won the season series last year, going 3-1 against the Wranglers. And if take care of business here today, same story here in 2024-2025. Wranglers are 9-12-1-1 against the Mudbugs all-time. Looking to get their 10th win against Shreveport with a comeback win here today. As off the face-off, Miller is able to spree the puck to the neutral zone where it's collected by Wise. Now, powering forward is Ribeiro. Quick shot is blocked by Welburn. Ribeiro collects the rebound and tries to center it to the slot. Nobody was there. And so back on his own end is Doyle to start the next charge. Seminara gets bottled up on the entry. The Mudbugs are offside, and afterwards a hit is thrown and chaos ensues. 4:59 to go in the second. I believe it was Morley Phillips that threw that hit. I think he's going to get a penalty for it. And so the Mudbugs will go back to the power play as Phillips sits for 2. Roughing is the call. So the Mudbugs will get their 4th power play chance of the night. And this is going to be a big penalty kill for the Wranglers. If they're able to get the kill, it stays a 2-goal game. But if the Mudbugs score, you're now looking at what would be a 3-goal deficit. And interestingly enough, this face-off is in the neutral zone. And the Mudbugs win it. So they start from center ice. They'll enter on the right wing. Fleet gets bottled up by the Wranglers, and moving ahead is Morton. Morton delays, pitches it towards the middle, but the pass was behind Gerhard. Now the Mudbugs go up ice with numbers. Wranglers hustle on the back check as Litchard curls on the left wing. Centers for Parichka. Now backdoor was Fleet, and the pass was out of his reach. From the far corner, Fleet has time to think about what he wants to do. On his forehand, moves it from low to high. Murch at the line, holds and shoots. Gerard makes the stop. Rebound, Karams into the near corner. Back behind the net, Parichka has it. On his forehands, jolted up to Fleet at the right points. He'll scoot it over to Deeb. He'll power towards the middle. Quick pass goes back to Fleet, and his shot is blocked by a diving Gerhard with 4:10 left in the second. 1:11 to go on the penalty to number 11, Morley Phillips. So both teams will get fresh bodies on. Make sure you follow the Wranglers on all of our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. As off the draw, Doyle claims that the line, feeds it to Pooley right side. Beneath the circle, it's Haldenby. He'll go around the net on his forehand. Haldenby will shuffle it to Akimov behind the net. On the right wing, Pooley has it again. Up top, it's Doyle. To the left wing, Haldenby. He'll creep into the left circle. Backhand pitch to the middle is broken up by the Wranglers. And Olislov will skate to the red line and send the puck on its way deep into Mudbug territory for a Wrangler clear. And Day doing nice work on the forecheck to pin the puck up against the end wall. Outmuscling 3 Mudbugs there to kill a chunk of time. Now Shreveport will move forward as on the left wing it's Smith. Burrowing his way in deep. Now at the half wall. Mudbugs work it up top as a shot by Doyle is blocked. Miller takes a swipe at it and frees it from the Wrangler zone. 10 seconds to go on the penalty. Puck ping-pongs around, comes to Miller. He'll get the job done for another Wrangler clear as Amarillo kills off the penalty. So it remains a 2-goal game. Wranglers come up big with a critical kill. Mudbugs work it in deep. It's Emery jockeying against Serrato. On the far wall, Boucher peels off of it, cuts towards the net. Sinclair stands him up. He'll rim it around to McGuire on the near wall. He takes a check. Morton keeps possession for the Wranglers as he feeds Sinclair on the left wing. Centering feed, brushes out the stick of Gerhard. Now Emery and company will charge up ice. As it's McKay stopping on the left wing. He'll shoot. Gerard makes a blocker stop, and the rebound comes out to the neutral zone. Gerhard moving with McGuire. Gerhard to the goal, and out of the reach of McGuire. He centers it, but nobody was there. Now the Mudbugs lob it into Wrangler territory. It's fielded by Breyer. Almost lost a hand on it. He's able to work it to Serrato off the end wall. Now the Mudbugs claim the puck at Seminara for a quick shot, and a kick save is made by Gerard to keep it a 2-goal score. Now Murch dancing at the blue line. Has a pass picked off. Serrato moves it forward for McGuire, and it's out of the reach for Gerhard on what would be the final shot attempt. 1:38 to go in the second period. At the right point, Breyer tries to knife at the puck to keep it in. Instead, it's the Mudbugs going up ice. Serrato makes a stand on the near wing. Wranglers move in transition. Game opening up here a bit in the late stages of the second as Ushakov, in front of his own bench, exchanges with Olislov. In the left corner, it's Davis, wrapping the puck around to Breyer on the near wing. Breyer on his forehand, moves to the high slot and shoots, and it goes high and wide. Ushakov taps the rebound to Olislov on the right wing. Tries to dig his way deeper, gets stood up, can't hang on to the puck. Mudbugs try and pass it out of the zone. Wranglers keep it in. And his play moves to the left wing, and now the Mudbugs are able to escape any more danger on a clear. But here comes Pipening. As on the right wing, the Wranglers enter, and they are offside with 48.7 to go in the second. Afterwards, Wellborn getting into it with Litchard. These two having some choice words for each other. It'll be a neutral zone draw right in front of the Wranglers bench. Jacobson wins it to Resega. It clinks off his skate, and the Mudbugs try and power up ice, and they're stood up by Wellborn. He'll charge down the right wing. Wellborn on his forehand, centers, and it goes off the stick of Resega and into the left wing wall. Pipening keeps it in. He'll stash it behind the net and around to the near corner. Day on his forehand, taps it to Resega. Resega spins away from the pressure. On his backhand, rolls it to Jacobson. Mudbugs step in the way. Day gets it back in the high slot. He'll cut towards the net. Backhand shot is wide. 15 seconds to go in the period. Piping in from the left point, hems it in. Exchanges with Day. Centering pass. Stick goes in the air. That was Jacobson's. Wranglers hang on to the puck. It's at the right point. It's Wellborn. 3 seconds to Piping, and a long shot is blockered away by Goich at the horn. And that will do it for the second period, and the Mudbugs lead it by 2. Wranglers putting a good effort in the final stages of the second period there, but unable to capitalize, and it remains a 2-goal game as the Mudbugs lead it 4-2 through 2 periods of play. Coming up next on the Wranglers Hockey Network, we'll have the second intermission report brought to you by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. We'll recap all the events of the first 2 periods, preview period 3, talk about what the Wranglers need to do to come back and win this game. And we'll also take a peek at our out-of-town scoreboard and check out what's going on a busy night in the North American Hockey League. I'm Guy Chiarenza, and we'll be back on the Wranglers Hockey Network in 3.5 minutes after a word from our local sponsors.
Down to Hooters, have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
Work. It means getting up early and getting on the road. It takes commitment, perseverance, and grit. You always get the job done. That's why at UniFirst, we provide the uniforms and services you need to work harder, smarter, and safer. We always deliver. Because you always deliver.
Your ordinary jobs deserve extraordinary quality. Skip the big box and save with Flex Tech and Austin Hose. With crush-resistant fittings and superior resistance to abrasion, weather, ozone, and oil, Flex Tech water hoses provide outstanding strength at a value that washes the competition away. And be sure to make those ordinary jobs that much easier with our vast selection of Quick Connect fittings. And now, take simplicity one step further with the Dixon Constant Flow Nozzle. Simply twist the nozzle head to adjust from a wide to long spray pattern to tackle any job. And it's internally sealed for easy installation, leak-free handling, and true water shutoff. Rated up to 300 PSI, FlexTech air hoses provide the durability and cost efficiency of PVC with a look and feel that simulates the flexibility of a traditional rubber hose. Pair your FlexTech air hose with the Milton blowgun, and even your toughest jobs are an absolute breeze. So when you're tired of the ordinary, put FlexTech to the test. Call Austin Hose today.
When you know where you're going, you do what it takes to move forward. For me, that means money in the bank, saving cash. So this is my ride, my granddad's old truck.
Saving is cool again, especially with fantastic rates and free checking at A&B.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
No, it's it's me, the A&B guy. Amarillo National Bank. Amarillo before bank.
We want to help you thrive no matter what stage of life you're in. Your prescription for well-being starts at United Supermarkets, where your neighborhood pharmacists are here to give you the care you need when you need it. From expert consultation to personalized care and all your wellness essentials, and giving you your best shot at prevention with immunizations, we understand that every step towards health is a step towards happiness. So whether you're picking up or we're dropping off, we're here for you.
AMA Techtel is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet, we don't have any phones, we have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown, AMA Techtel already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA Techtel. They're that important.
It has been a back-and-forth game here at the Budweiser Bull Pen, but after 2 periods of play, it is the Shreveport Mudbugs that have the lead at 4-2 through 40 minutes of play. Hi, everybody. I'm Guy Chiarenza. Welcome you in to our second intermission report, brought to you by Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. It's a game that seems to be coming in twos. First, it was Shreveport scoring the first two, the Wranglers the next two, and then the next two to Shreveport again. So, the trend continues. You got to think the next two belong to the Wranglers, right? Well, we'll see in the third period. For now, let's recap the scoring here. As it was the Mudbugs striking first with 12:28 left in the first period. Gleb Akimov gets on the board from Haldenby on the power play to make it a 1-0 Mudbug lead, and business as usual for Shreveport's big guns. Akimov, in his first season in the North American Hockey League, he's been very, very good. On the season, he now has 5 goals and 9 assists for 14 points in 12 games. He's over a point-per-game player, and a lot of that is coming from his what is now an 8-game point streak. 4 goals, 7 assists in that span. He's been great, and as has been Kyan Haldenby. Haldenby, with the assist, extended his point streak to 7 games with 5 goals and 10 assists in that span. So, first goal belonged to the Mudbugs. Second one did as well. 6:50 left in the first period. Andre Parichka scores from Earhard and Doyle to make it a 2-0 Mudbug lead. So Shreveport gets the next one, and for Parichka, that is his second goal of the season. Doyle, after a big night yesterday, continues to produce. He gets the secondary assist. For Earhard, with the point on the assist, he now has 2 points on the season, 1 goal, 1 assist in his 4th game this season. Looked like the Mudbugs were going to head into the first intermission with a 2-0 lead, but the Wranglers had something to say about it with 2:03 left in the period. Corson McGuire from Morton and Gerhard. Tell me if you've heard that one before. They combine for the Wranglers' first goal for the second straight night to get Amarillo on the board and make it a 2-1 hockey game. McGuire gets his 7th goal of the season, extends his point streak to 7 games. McGuire now has 4 goals and 5 assists in that span. Gerhard, the reigning South Division first star of the week, extends his point streak to 7 games as well. 4 goals and 6 assists in that span for Gerhard. And then Morton extends his streak as well. 3 goals and 6 assists in his last 6 as the Wranglers' top line gets them on the board. So after 20, it was a 2-1 Mudbug lead. Into the second period we went, and it did not take long for the Wranglers to tie the game up at 2. Just 2:01 into the second period. What a pass from Daniel Resega, off balance, and I did check the tape. It was Resega. They originally credited it to piping it in Sinclair. I went back and checked the tape. It was Resega who was off balance on the far wall from the circle, passing it across to Jacobson in open space for a one-time blast that beat Goich to tie the game up at 2. So for Jacobson, he gets his 3rd goal of the season, and for Resega, gets his 4th point, all assists with the primary assist. And I'll have to check the tape back a little bit further to see who gets the secondary, as it appears that our off-ice officials were not right on that one. They're usually very, very good, but on that one, a little off the mark. And that's fine. That's why we check the tape. And so it was a 2-2 game. Anybody could break away, and it was the Mudbugs that responded with the score with 13:22 left in the period, as it is Aiden Pooley after some precision passing from Haldenby and Doyle to make it a 3-2 Mudbug lead for Pooley. That is his 6th goal of the season. He extends his point streak to 5 games with 4 goals and 3 assists on the streak to make it a 3-2 Mudbug lead. And then later on, with 7:16 left in the second, Noah Ribeiro is able to stuff the puck in from Bryce Boucher to make it a 4-2 game, and the Mudbugs get their 2-goal lead back. So again, it's a game that's been in 2s. First 2 to the Mudbugs, next 2 to the Wranglers, and the most recent 2 back to Shreveport. So hey, if the trend continues, it'll be a 4-4 game at some point in the 3rd period, right? Well, the Wranglers have a long way to go before they get to that point, but certainly a much better effort here tonight than it was on Friday. And Friday was a strange game where the Wranglers outshot the Mudbugs. They played well. It's just the turnovers. They didn't play very smart hockey. Things kind of got out of hand quickly as the Mudbugs capitalized on seemingly every single chance that they got. And in the second period, there were a couple of lapses there where the Wranglers gave the Mudbugs some chances, and they scored on a couple of them. So in the 3rd period, the Wranglers need to play a tight game. They need to play a tight ship. They can't be sloppy. They can't play sloppy hockey. They have to find a way to take care of the puck. And I think it's just making very precise passes. You got to keep your head up. You got to know where the puck is going once it comes off of your stick. You got to be sure that it's not going to end up in the wrong hands. And you got to watch out for the Mudbugs in transition. This is a strong Mudbug team, but they're also very fast. We saw Kyan Haldenby get a breakaway after the game was 4-2. Gerard made the stop, but, you know, you can't let that kind of stuff happen if you're the Wranglers. You got to have eyes on the back of your head, and you got to be smart about where you are positionally and where you distribute the puck when it comes to passing. If the Wranglers are able to do that in the 3rd period, this becomes a much closer game. I like the Wranglers' chances to tie it if they can do that, but so far this weekend, most of the time they have not been able to do so. So if they are able to mount a comeback in the 3rd period, watch for that to be a recipe for success for the Wranglers. Just 1 power play goal scored in this game. It was in the 1st period. It was on the Akimov goal. So as it stands right now, in terms of special teams, the Mudbugs are winning that battle. They're 1 for 3 on the power play. Wranglers are 0 for 3, although they did get a critical penalty kill to keep it a 4-2 game in the late stages of the 2nd period. And if you want to think about it, you can almost count up that Jacobson goal as a power play goal, as it was scored about 5 seconds or so after the Wranglers' power play had expired. So that's one of those ones where it's not statistically going to go down as a power play goal, but it might as well, considering it was scored off the momentum from the man advantage. So that is the special teams roundup so far, and shot count right now 22-17 in favor of the Mudbugs, who were outshot yesterday. The Wranglers did outshoot the Mudbugs 39-30 in Friday's game. And so today, in a game where the Wranglers are being outshot, that ends up holding. The Wranglers, when they outshoot their opponent, 4-1-0-1. When they're outshot, 4-4-0-1. So it seems like the Wranglers much better positioned to win when they do outshoot their opponent. For the Mudbugs, when they outshoot their opponent, they're 5-4, which is interesting. And when they're outshot, they are 3-1. So take that as you will. And of course, when leading after 2, the Mudbugs are 6-1, and the Wranglers, when trailing after 2, are 1-4-0-1. They'll look to make that 2-4-0-1 with a comeback here today on home ice. It is the 5th game of a 7th game homestand. The Odessa Jackalos will come to town next week on Thursday and Friday. We'll talk about that on the other side of the break. And we'll also take a peek at our out-of-town scoreboard and see what those Jackalopes are up to, as well as the other teams from around the South Division, as the second intermission report goes on here from the Budweiser Bull Pen. It's the Mudbugs 4 and the Wranglers 2. We'll be back in just a moment after a word from our local sponsors.
AMA Techtel is just first rate. We had a flood here last year. We don't have any internet, we don't have any phones, we have nothing. By the time I got from my house to downtown, AMA Techtel already had a crew of men there. I can't imagine doing business without AMA Techtel. They're that important.
Y'all, I finished the cereal yesterday, and today the box is full again. Same with the milk. Yesterday this was basically empty, and today it's full again too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's wild.
Must be magic.
No lines, no waiting. Just quick and convenient grocery shopping. It's not magic, it's delivery from United Supermarkets.
Back here in downtown Amarillo, 4-2 is the score. The Mudbugs, the visitors, have the lead by 2. See if the Wranglers can change that in the third period. Next week, the Odessa Jackalopes come to town, as this is the final game of the 4-game season series between the Wranglers and the Mudbugs. We'll see the Jackalopes for the first time next week. They will come in on Thursday in what is the kids/college day game. That'll start at 11 o'clock in the morning. So it's an early riser. I'm not much of a morning guy, and it's going to be a tough week with the time change. As far as daylight savings, although I believe you fall back an hour in the fall, which is nice. I like that. I can deal with that. I believe that happens tonight, so sector clocks. Anyhow, we'll take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard and see what's going on around the South Division. So first, we'll check in on those Odessa Jackalopes, who are standing at 6-8, taking on the Lone Star Brahmas, who currently lead the South Division in first place, with a record of 11-2, 0-1 at NYTEX Sports Center. It's the Brahmas so far taking care of business, as through 2 periods, it is a 3-1 Lone Star Brahma lead. Over at El Paso County Event Center, scoreless game between the Rhinos and the Grit. About 5 minutes into the second period there, no score over in El Paso. And that game is important because if the Wranglers are to lose today, the Mudbugs, with 2 points, obviously would tie the Wranglers for third place. And if the Rhinos win, then it's a 3-way tie for third place in the South Division here in the early stages of the season. And over at Outpost Ice Arenas, it is the New Mexico Ice Wolves hosting the Oklahoma Warriors. New Mexico getting their 4th win of the season yesterday over Oklahoma, has a 1-0 lead at about the midway point of the first period. The lone goal belongs to Andrew Earl, as the Ice Wolves look to pick up back-to-back wins. And that is the roundup for the South Division. If you want to take a look at the rest of the scores from around the league, you can head over to nahl.com, or you can download the mobile app and check them out on your mobile device. Yep, that's right. You can check them out right from your phone. Go to nahl.com to get started. And so, we'll bring you back to our game as we get ready for third period action here at the Budweiser Bull Pen, in a game where the Wranglers find themselves down by 2. And so the question now becomes is, can they do it? Can they mount another comeback? Well, they've already done it so far today. They've already come back down from 2. So I think to answer that question, yes, they very much can. But they have to keep the Mudbugs off the board. I think they need to stay out of the penalty box. You can't let that Mudbug power play get a chance to go on the man advantage and cash in again. And, for the Wranglers, again, we talked about last time, before the break, we talked about what the Wranglers need to play smart hockey. They need to stay very smart. They can't turn the puck over. They need to be smart about where they are positionally so they don't get these on-man breaks the other way and the Mudbugs have numbers heading into the Wranglers zone. That's how the Mudbugs beat you. You can't let them do it here if you want to get a chance to win. Talked about guys stepping up so far today. we got it from their first 2 lines. So we're on the money so far here today in terms of talking about what the Wranglers need to do to win. The first line connects, the second line connects, and you look for maybe more from those 6, but again, the defense, can you get some production from them? And maybe the bottom 6 as well. I like what Alexander Olislev has done so far in today's game. Great two-way forward, plays a very strong game. And that's kind of how these matchups between these two teams are. You get those puck battles along the boards. Someone's got to find a way to fish the puck free. Wranglers need to be strong and keep the puck away from the Mudbugs because offense is the best defense. If you have the puck on your stick, the Mudbugs can't score. And so that will do it for the second intermission report. Wranglers looking to tie the game up and get a comeback win here on home ice. As through 2, it's the Mudbugs 4 and the Wranglers 2, as both teams have come back out for the start of the third period. Mudbugs looking to pick up the win and take the season series. Wranglers looking to mount the comeback and make it a 2-2 split and a 1-1 split on the weekend. Wranglers will skate from right to left, wearing their white jerseys here in the third period. Mudbugs skating from left to right, wearing a black-on-black jersey this weekend. It's Morton against Haldenby to start the third period. Puck is dropped and away we go for the final period here at the Budweiser Bull Pen. Mudbugs have it. It's Fleet across for Pooley. Now back to the left wing for Akimov. Passed a little bit behind him. He catches up to it, deals it to the right point for Fleet, who shoots. Goes off a stick and into the far corner, where Serrato will heave it out to the neutral zone over the glove of Gerhard. The Mudbugs will slam it back in for an icing. So our first whistle of the period comes 28 seconds in. It'll go all the way back down into the Mudbug end. Face-off will be on the near circle of the Mudbug end to the right of Goich. Jacobson will take it against Haldenby, and the Mudbugs will emerge with the puck off a face-off victory. Puck taps off of a couple sticks at center ice. Wranglers take it in transition. It's Resega. Toe drag cut to the middle. Off a skate for a shot by Jacobson. That goes wide. Good chance for the Wranglers there with their speed. Now the Mudbugs will try and get one of their own. And he's curling away on the far wall was Litchard. Puck escapes the zone, and the Mudbugs will field it on the near wing of their end. Wise, stretch pass on time for Deeb. He'll jar it beneath the goal line for Litchard. Centering pass broken up by Resega. Puck on the far wall. Litchard trying to knife his way between the circles. Wranglers kick it to the near wing, where it is handled by Doyle. He'll sidestep the pressure, take a shot. Gerard the stop, and he scrambles and pounces on the rebound to get a stoppage. 1:24 into the third. Big thank you to everybody who has tuned in this weekend. We're happy to have you here on the Wranglers Hockey Network. Big shout out to Chet Yoder, voice of the Mudbugs. Unable to make it here this weekend, but Chet, one of the best in the business in this league. As Phillips has it in the neutral zone, he'll loft it in on Goich, who gloves it and keeps it moving. Puck is turned over at the blue line. Wranglers keep it in, but the Mudbugs get it back as the Wranglers could not get set. Wise gains the red line. He'll pound it in. Gerard will paddle it to the right wing wall, where another quick shot goes wide. This momentum carries the puck over to the far wall, as the Wranglers, in a series of quick passes, look to get to work. Pipe it in from the red line. Will thump the puck off the near corner wall. Onto the tape of Pusateri, and a whistle is blown. 2:10 into the third. that has us stopped. The face-off will be to the right of Gerard. It is Olislov to take the face-off against Perichka. And for Perichka, he is a Slovakian, and he has represented his team nationally. Easy for me to say as the Wranglers get a block and turn up ice. Cameron flutters it towards the goal where it is bumped out to the far corner by Goich. Now on the left wing, Breyer creeps in, try and pinch the puck in the zone. Mudbugs flip the script and send it on its way to the middle, where Seminara from the red line will cast the puck in off the end wall. Perichka and company look to get to work as a puck battle ensues on the far corner, but not for long. Olislov strong on it, able to help it to the blue line as the Mudbugs able to churn their way forward, but only for a moment. Wranglers from the blue line zip the puck in. Goich handles it. Mudbugs have it. Fleet across for Murch, and the stretch pass offline for Haldenby, and so it'll be an icing on the Mudbugs. 3:09 into the third period. And so for Goich, coming into tonight's game, had not played since September 25th against New Hampshire at the Showcase. Question was, would there be any rust for him? The answer is no. He's looked pretty sharp tonight for the Mudbugs, as he has stopped 15 of 17 so far, as a quick shot off the draw from Gerhard is kicked away by Goich. And now the Wranglers knifing towards the net again. It's Morton whacking at it. Goich a big stop on the doorstep, and now they'll tango for it in the near corner. Wranglers rip it free. It's McGuire on his backhand up to Sinclair, and his shot is blocked by Akimov. Haldenby gains center red. Dishes it to the left wing for Akimov. Shot is stopped by Gerard. Now McGuire transfers it the puck to Sinclair. He'll relay it to the left wing off the stick of Gerhard and into the zone. Or Wise will play it over to Doyle. And up ahead, looks for Litchard. Morton gets a stick in the way and creates a turnover. He'll sail the puck in, and he goes to the bench for a line change. Meanwhile, Doyle, stationed behind Goich, will get a lay of the land and start the next Mudbug breakout. He connects with Litchard at his own blue line. He will snap the puck off the end wall. Centering feed goes astray to Jacobson in a hurry. Hacks it off the far wall to Serrato. And the Wranglers start their next breakout. As it is Breyer backpedaling at the line. Tries to brush it across for Serrano. Pass is intercepted by Litchard. He'll creep in to Erhard. And oh, what a stop by the left pad of Gerard. The Wranglers will get a chance the other way. It's Day to the middle. Back across. And oh, what a stop by Goich. Serrano high slot. And stays out. Unbelievable. And now Goich goes across and scrambles to cover up and make the stop. And he'll hang on with 15-14 left in the third. Oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. Acrobatics at both ends. First it's Gerard, then it's a series of stops by Goich to keep it a 4-2 Mudbug lead. And I have no idea how Nikola Goich came across, sliding from left to right to make not one but two saves on the Wranglers, who seemingly had a wide open net. And the light behind that cage did go on, and they might take a look at this to see. We do have goal line replay here, goal line review here in this building. Every building in the league does, and so got a conference going on at the scorer's table. This is either for a review or it is for an upcoming penalty that happened on the skirmish after the series of saves by Goich. Taylor Harnett getting an explanation from Mr. Ottenberg, our referee this weekend. And looks like Jason Campbell content with what he sees. So we stay 5-on-5. Face off on the far circle. Phillips will duel against Emery. Phillips wins the faceoff. Quick shot by Miller is blocked. Mudbugs spring the other way. It's McKay on the right wing. Knocking it down the wall for Smith, who glides it along for Emery, who takes a check from Phillips. Long toss is turned away by Gerard. Now in the near corner, the Wranglers have it. Hedquist on the right wing connects with Phillips. They'll jolt it to Miller, who goes up ice. Gets caught up by a pack of Mudbugs, and now beneath the goal line, Shreveport has it. At center ice, it's Pusateri leaping at the blue line to chip it in. Wellburn, stretch pass, off the mark. No icing, as Phillips on the forecheck looks to create a turnover. Miller there as well. Hanging on to the puck is Perichka. And the Wranglers throwing their weight around as another check by Phillips is thrown. Meanwhile, the Mudbugs move down the right wing. Centering pass for Perichka. And his shot is stopped by Gerard, who is really dialed in. Ever since the Mudbugs scored their fourth. Seminara from behind Gerard. Tries to move it from low to high, out of the reach of Fleet as the puck escapes the zone. Goich will come out to play it. Ushikov on the forecheck. Looks to wreak havoc. 13:44 left in the third period. Mudbugs lead by 2. As on the left wing, it's Pipinen. Creeping towards the goal. Ushikov is there as well. Mudbugs fish it away. Pipinen directed into the near corner. Bodies collide. Ushikov battling with Fleet. Has to kick it back to Pipinen. Arm is raised, and those two have just drawn a penalty. It'll go against the Mudbugs. Wranglers will go back to the power play for the 4th time tonight. Murch is the culprit. Holding is the call. And the Wranglers have a chance to make it a 1-goal game. Face-off is won by the Wranglers. At the line, quick pass connects for Serrato. He'll deal it to Day, now back up top. Serrato over to Day. Left circle shot, flubs in on Goich. Wranglers on the doorstep, can they pound it in? No, they can't. The Mudbugs bat it to the near wall. Serrato has it at the line. Left side, Gerard holds and shoots, and it's blocked by a diving Wise. Day at the left point. Moves it down low, centering feed. Off the stick of Morton. We'll get it to Serrato, who pinches down on the right wing wall. Tries to jab it back to Morton. Wreaking havoc is Boucher. And the Mudbugs are able to muscle the puck out to the neutral zone. Wranglers back in on the left side. Serrato at the left point. Stashes it beneath the goal line for McGuire. On his backhand, he'll dish it up top for Morton. Quick pass, Serrato's got it. He'll walk the line and shoot. Out in front, Wranglers tip it. A shot is denied by Goich. And Serrato keeps it in the zone. Good possession by the Wranglers as they'll center it for a quick shot by Day. Goich the save. Another try to Serrato. He'll hang on. Deal it to Gerhard, top of the left circle. He'll wait for a moment. Return it to Serrato. And now he'll deal it to Day. High slot. Look to go across to Morton in the right circle. He does get it. He'll drive towards the net. Get pushed back into the corner. And the Wranglers reverse it to the near side. Now behind Goich, it's Morton to Day. At the right point, Serrato. 26 seconds to go on the power play as Goich eats up a shot from the blue line for a stoppage. And now you get some more pushing and shoving. As time stops with 11:53 left in the third. Draw to the left of Goich, will be taken by Jacobson. As the Wranglers' second power play unit is out. Litchard will be the opponent on the circle. Wranglers win it. At the left point, it's a foot race, and knocking it out to the neutral zone is McKay. Pipinen just couldn't get there in time. He's got his stick being held by McKay. Meanwhile, the Mudbugs create a turnover on the forecheck and subsequently turn it over to Crew Hannes. Hannes passes to Sinclair. He loses his balance. Luckily for him, Pipinen was able to claim the puck as the penalty has expired. We're back to even strength as Hannes rumbles down the right wing, cuts towards the net. Right circle, Sinclair has it. We'll drive it around to the left wing for Hannes, who leaves it for Rasega. Long shot off a skate into the air. Settled down at the half wall by Pipinen. Wranglers try and push it towards the net. Ends up in the far corner. As the Mudbugs are able to swipe it out to center. Now Jacobson tries to knife his way towards the net, gets impeded by Fleet. That draws a penalty, and so the Wranglers will go back to the power play. With 10:56 left in the third. Too many men on the ice is the call against Shreveport. So any which way you serve it up, the Mudbugs will go back to the penalty kill. Wranglers have their fifth power play chance of the night. Have not converted on any of them. But now is as good a time as ever to get there first. As on the left wing, it's Gerhard trying to twirl away from the pressure of Boucher, who makes him hit the deck on the near wall. Mudbugs fish the puck free and get it clear. Serrato starting from his own end. Gains some steam at the red line as it poked away by McKay, and Gerhard will drill it around to the right wing wall. At the point, Day looks to keep it in. They'll dish it to the corner for McGuire. He gets pinned up against the wall. Puck is loose. Players swiping at it. Wranglers have it. Gerhard looked to pass it up top, and he flubbed on it. McKay steps in, creeps down the right wing. McKay doing a good job of killing time off the Wrangler power play, which is down to 1 minute here with 9:54 to go in the third. Puck is finally wedged free. McKay gets it back again, and he goes right back to work. Wranglers this time able to quickly weasel it free, though the Mudbugs still have it, as at the right point Litchard controls. And the Mudbugs will be very, very smart about this and take their time to kill off more seconds out the Wrangler power plays. Powering down the right wing is Parichka. Serrato throws some weight at him to bump him off the puck. And now the Wranglers will control the puck with 23 seconds left on their power play. On the red line, it's Pipinen feeding Rasega in motion. He'll shoot! A quick one whistles wide of Goich. Held in by Sinclair. He'll wrap the puck around to the near wall. The Wranglers pinching, trying to keep it in. Puck is dug deeper as the penalty expires. We're back to even strength. So with 8:50 left in the third, it is still a 4-2 Mudbug lead. Boucher turns his way along the left wing. It's cut off by Jacobson, who has the puck. He'll distribute it to Sinclair, who arcs it through the neutral zone looking for Hannes. It popped off his skate. And moving forward was Haldenby. And on the back check, Hannes putting in good work. Shuts down the Shreveport opportunity. Shots are 27-25 in favor of the Mudbugs. As Davis collects the puck in his own ends. Hedquist looked to outlet to Ushikov, and it was out of his reach, and so it goes the length for an icing with 8:05 left in the third. Olislov to take it. And Mudbugs will have possession, but only for a moment, as it's a puck battle in the far corner of the Wranglers zone. 2 Wranglers, 2 Mudbugs are there. Olislov right in the thick of it. Up against the wall is Carter McKay. Now an extra Wrangler joins in. That's Hedquist. He's able to pick the puck free. Jab it along to the far half wall. And touch it to Olislov, who tries to lob it forward. Instead, it boomerangs back to Wellburn. And now at the blue line, the Mudbugs, being pesky, get the puck back. Nickel on time for Smith. In the neutral zone, the puck is knocked in by Deeb. As Olislov jockeying against Litchard. Gets caught up in another puck battle. Litchard emerges, looks to center. Gerard put the paddle down. Murch fakes a shot from the line. One is taken by Fleet and snared by Gerard for a stoppage with 7:02 left in the third. It's a timeout on the ice. We'll take one as well. The Mudbugs lead at 4-2 here at the bullpen. Can the Wranglers come back, or will Shreveport win the season series? We'll find out on the other side of the break on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
Down to Hooters, have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some awesome wings. It's the place to do your thing. You gotta get down to Hooters. Here she comes, a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters. So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
Work.
Mudbugs with a 2-goal lead in the latter stages of the third period, looking to hang on and get their 9th victory of the season. Wranglers, also in search of their 9th win of the year, are staring down the barrel of a 2-goal hole as they look to mount a comeback here on home ice and get a split on the weekend. Carl Jacobson, who had 4 shots in Friday's game but was held off the score sheet, as the Wranglers' most recent goal from Daniel Rasega. The ensuing 2 goals have belonged to Shreveport that have given them the 2-goal lead. So it'll be a face-off to the left of Gerard on the near circle. Miller will take it against Deeb, and the Mudbugs will control. Centering pass goes off a skate, held in at the right point by Wise. Off the wall, a shot is taken by Deeb. Gerard, hugging the post, is able to make the stop as Miller rotates the puck along to the far wall, where Phillips will burst it out to the neutral zone. Now Earhard will try and escape the pressure from the Wranglers. Turnover here, Phillips in close quarters is stopped by Goich. So there you go, the Wranglers being pesky on the forecheck. Miller nipping on the heels of Earhard. With help from Hannes, forces him to cough it up. The chance out in front is stopped by the Mudbugs netminder. And that's kind of just how the weekend has gone for the Wranglers. Draw in the near circle. Mudbugs win it. They'll pound it off the far wall out to center, where Serrato grabs it. Wranglers enter down the left side. It's Gerhard across from McGuire. Score! Corson McGuire double dips his 2nd of the game. Makes it a 4-3 score. McGuire's 8th goal of the season makes it a 1-goal game, and things at the bullpen have gotten a little bit more interesting. Gerhard to McGuire. Tell me if you heard that one before. Seemingly every single night, sometimes more than once. That is the case here today. The first goal of the third period belongs to number 19 in white. And they're, oh, wait a minute, they're calling it no goal? What do we have here? So things have gotten even more interesting at the bullpen, and well, I'll let the crowd tell you how they feel. So they talk things over, and I mean, pretty apparent that the puck crossed the goal line, but could this be a potential offside? I mean, there's no review for offside in this building. I wonder what the case could be. This is a big play any way you chalk it up, because with 6:22 left in the third, keeping this off the board would make it a 4-2 game. And Taylor Harnett getting an explanation right now from Ottenberg. And now Jason Campbell will get his, although it looks like he's already good, content with things. And so they wipe it off. So it is still a 4-2 game. McGuire does not get the goal. And I wish I could tell you more. Again, still talking going on at the scorer's table. Meanwhile, everybody else on the ice is stationed out in the neutral zone. And so they do call it offside. So that's why the goal does not stand. They deem the Wranglers were offside. You can blame the Eagle Eye linesman. And so it stays a 2-goal game at 4-2. So here's McGuire looking to get it back. Stretch pass out of the reach of Gerhard. Scrambles behind the net to catch up to it. Battles for the puck on the near wall. Goes crashing down, courtesy of Fleet. And now the puck goes deep into the Wranglers zone. Orton from the right wing. Outlets to McGuire. Off his stick. He'll get to it first. Around the net he goes, as meanwhile his reinforcements are making a line change. The paddle up to the left point for Hedquist. Now the Mudbugs able to rip it away with 5:36 left in the third. Emery on the left wing. Jolts it to McKay. From beneath the goal line, wanted to scoot it between the two circles. Instead, the Wranglers get in front. Turn up ice, it's Day. Battling towards the net. Can't get a shot off as Doyle was there defensively. Day with it back on his backhand. Feeds Edquist for a one-timer. That's stopped by Goich and knifed over into the near wall. Jacobson on his backhand. Loses it to Wise. And now McKay will arc it to the Wrangler blue line, where Hedquist quickly tries to relay it to Day. Goes off his skate. The Wranglers get a line change. Under 5 minutes to go here in the third period. Final 5 minutes are brought to you by Street Toyota. As the Wranglers down by 2, look to mount the comeback. The momentum put to a halt after the no goal off the offside. Nickel to Seminara at center circle. He'll zing it around to the far corner, where the Wranglers dig a stick in and get the puck free. Pass up ice is off the backside of the skate of Hannes. The Mudbugs will burrow in deeper. On the far wall, Phillips takes a jab at it. Wranglers trying to force the puck out. Shot from the left point by Boucher. Is gloved by Gerard with 4:05 to go in the third. And you think about the timing of the no goal and how much that is going to impact the remainder of this game. You think if the Wranglers score, about 6 minutes left to go in the third, it's a 1-goal game. They have the momentum on their side. All they would have needed is one more to make it a 2-goal game, but instead, the Wranglers' momentum is stopped short, and now the task is still a 2-goal hole. Gerard will sweep it on the left wing to Gerhard. They'll gain the red line and heave it into the far corner. From the wall, it's Serrato taking a shot, goes out the backside of the skate of McGuire to Gerhard. Left side shot, whistles wide of Goich, and the puck, with enough steam, will go all the way back out into the Wranglers' end. Serrato from his own territory turns up ice. Does he have a magic moment in him? He gains the blue line. On the left wing, Serrato shoots, and it's blocked by Wise. Morton exchanges with Day. Toe drag shot is blocked by McKay. Wise will station behind Goich. Relay it up, looking for Emery. Pass evades him for an icing with 3:07 left in the third. So face off on the near circle of the Shreveport zone. Jacobson against Emery. For the Wranglers, every moment critical here. You got to win your face-offs. And they got that one. Tied up off the draw. The Wranglers have it at the left circle. Cutting towards the net is Day, and it goes off Goich. Second try. Dumps off his pads, and Sinclair can't keep it in at the right point. So it'll go all the way back down, and we'll keep an eye on Gerard, but the Wranglers down by 2. Got to think that the extra attacker could be coming sometime soon. Fans take up a Let's Go Wrangler chant, trying to help their team rally back and tie it. As Murch helps the puck along the right wing. Back into the Wranglers zone it goes. Piping it, the Finnish defenseman. Placed up ahead for Rasega. Wanted to try and spring the puck forward, but Mudbugs get it back. Time draining off the clock. It's not on the Wranglers' side. 3:06 to go in the third period as the Mudbugs lob the puck back out to the neutral zone and get a whistle here for a puck out of play with 2:03 left in the third. Face off in the neutral zone in front of the Wranglers bench. When you need a goal, you send out your top guys. It was the first line, but it looks like Taylor Harnett has taken his timeout. And so they'll get a little bit of rest in what is going to be a critical sequence. Down by 2. The first 2 goals belong to the Mudbugs from Akimov and Parichka. Next 2 go to the Wranglers, McGuire and Jacobson. And then the most recent 2 goals off the stick of the Mudbugs again, as it is Pooley and Ribeiro scoring the 2 most recent goals. And it looks like the Wranglers are going to get the next one off the stick of McGuire. Just about 4 minutes of game time ago, but is deemed offside and a no goal. And so it has stayed a 4-2 game ever since. Now with 2:03 left in the third period, draw in the neutral zone, so we'll see if Gerard will stay on the bench after the timeout. It doesn't appear so. So as it stands, it's Gerhard, Morton, McGuire, Serrato, and Welburn on the ice for the Wranglers. And I imagine if the Wranglers get possession and turn up ice, Gerard goes to the bench for the extra attacker. For Shreveport, it's Haldenby, Litchard, Akimov, Wise, and Fleet. And what is a critical sequence? Haldenby against Morton in the face-off dot. And the Mudbugs possess. Wise on the red line. Drills it down off the stick of Gerard. Serrato claims it. Deals it to Welburn. The Wranglers move up ice. They're thwarted in the neutral zone. They try and surge down the right wing to keep the play moving. Instead, it's a puck battle at the blue line. Mudbugs play it back to their defense, and Fleet will skitter the puck back out to the neutral zone where Serrato will have it. Pass goes off a Mudbug skate, flutters into the air, and it'll be an offside with 1:28 left in the third. And the Wranglers not really having a good chance to really possess and get Gerard to the bench for the extra attacker. So again, you're in a situation where you have a face-off in front of the Wranglers bench. Only this time, it's about 30 less seconds on the clock. Mudbugs again win another face-off. Doyle on the right wing slips it down to Gerard. They'll keep play moving for Serrato, who feels some pressure. Wranglers try and hang on to it, and they can't. It's Emery in the left corner, trying to peel away from Jacobson. He will hoist it into the neutral zone where it settles down on the stick of Rasega, and there goes Gerard to the bench. Players bundle up at the left point. Puck sneaks beneath the goal line. Murch loses the puck. Wranglers have it. Left point, Serrato, long shot into traffic. Day has it leap over his stick on the right side. Welburn steps in and shoots, and a glove save is made by Goich with 51 seconds left in period 3. Draw will be on the far circle of the Mudbug zone. 6 Wranglers out there, net open. Morton to take the face-off with Day, McGuire, Serrato, Gerhard, and Welburn. And off that face-off, Day's shot is blocked. Puck trickles out to the neutral zone. Wranglers need to hurry. Pass is deflected by Boucher. He clears towards the empty net. Can't get a stick on it, and the Wranglers will repossess. Day looks to relay it to McGuire. It's out of his reach. And no icing as Fleet gets to the puck. Slams it to the left point. Day keeps it in. Mudbugs muscle it out to center. It's Boucher. That is open, and the pass across is blocked. Wranglers have a chance. It is at the blue line. Puck is loose. Jumping around like a frog on a pond. The Mudbugs will blast it back into the Wrangler end with 13 seconds left. And that's an icing on Shreveport in the waning moments of regulation. So, not a lot of time. Set play here. Has to be. Face-off needs to be won by the Wranglers. And after that, there's really not a lot of time left. But we've seen crazier things happen, so I'm not going to rule it out. Morton on the far circle will take it against Parichka. And it looks like Jason Campbell, Mudbugs coach, has taken his face-off, or excuse me, his timeout. And so they'll talk things over, get his guys some rest. And for Jason Campbell, spent a long time in Shreveport. 7 seasons as a player, 412 games, 129 goals, 167 assists, almost 300 points, ending at 296. It's his 10th season coaching in Shreveport, 9th in the North American Hockey League. Of course, the Mudbugs, one of those remnants from the Central Hockey League. Much like the Odessa Jackalopes, who will be in this building next week. Make sure you catch that game on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Thursday's game, early riser, 11 o'clock a.m. We'll call it a 10:45 pregame show, as the Wranglers host the Jackalopes for the first time this season. Back to this game. Wranglers need a win on the faceoff circle. Morton slams it towards the net, and Goich will cover up with 11.7 left. And afterwards, tempers flare. Nickel in the middle, dancing with Welburn. And they'll break that up. Foster Nickel, son of Scott Nickel, former NHLer. And Nickel goes to the box, so he has taken a penalty there. roughing is the call. But the face-off is going to be in the neutral zone. So that doesn't help the Wranglers' case. Face-off won by the Wranglers. From the red line, Morton tries to knock it in. 5 seconds left. Mudbugs have it. And that will be all. So Shreveport comes in, picks up a pair of wins to start their road trip. They take this game by the final score of 4-2. Tough pair of losses for the Wranglers this weekend on home ice. For the Mudbugs, their victory has them improved to 9-5 on the season. They are tied with the Wranglers for third place in the South Division. The Wranglers will fall to 8-6-0-2 and will look to bounce back when they host the Jackalopes on Thursday and Friday. Wranglers postgame live starts now, and tough couple of games here for the Wranglers on home ice, and they're still searching for answers. And for the Mudbugs, they start their road trip with a bang. 2 wins in enemy territory. They will go to Oklahoma next week for a set against the Warriors. Meanwhile, for the Wranglers, a lot to like in this game, but just not enough. In the first period, Akimov gets things started with 12:28 left in the first. On the power play from Haldenby, each guy extends his point streak by a game. The Mudbugs are off and running. They tack on another one with 6:50 to go in the opening frame. It's Parichka from Earhart and Doyle with the score to make it a 2-0 Mudbug lead. And it looked like we were heading that way into the first intermission, but the Wranglers do bury one. Near the end of the first period, 2:03 left. It's McGuire from Morton and Gerhard. They remain red hot and get the Wranglers on the board to make it a 2-1 game. Over in the second period, 2 minutes and 1 second into period 2, it is Jacobson off of a beautiful feed off balance from Daniel Rasega to tie the game up at 2. But the Mudbugs just about 4 minutes later get that goal back to make it a 3-2 hockey game. Off the stick of Aiden Pooley. Some surgical passing from the Mudbugs ends up in the back of the Wranglers' net. And then Shreveport's fourth and final goal of the game came off of the stick of Noah Ribeiro with 7:16 left in the second period to make it a 4-2 Mudbug lead. And then in the third period, Wranglers trying to battle back. It looked like they were going to have one. It would have been McGuire from Gerhard, but they deem it offside. And I think that was pretty much the icing on the cake, the nail in the coffin, whichever way you want to chalk it up. Wranglers time not on their side and back into 2-goal hole, unable to come back, and the Mudbugs get the victory. It's a tough game to dissect, and it's really a tough weekend to dissect, really, if you're a member of the coaching staff of the Amarillo Wranglers. You look at it, and yesterday's game, Wranglers shot themselves in the foot numerous times. Turnovers, bad breaks, line rushes, whatever it may be, the Mudbugs capitalized on seemingly every opportunity. And tonight, a little bit better for the Wranglers in terms of playing smart hockey, but overall, still a series of mistakes, and the Mudbugs, a good team in their own right, able to capitalize on those chances, put them in the back of the net. And look at the special teams battle here today. Wranglers end up going 0 for 6 on the power play. Mudbugs go 1 for 3. The game-winning goal was scored by Aiden Pooley at about the midway point of the second period. And, you know, it's interesting. The Mudbugs go up by 2. Wranglers, just like they did in their one win against the Mudbugs in the season series, scored the next 2. Looked like they were going to go on a run. And the Mudbugs this time learned their lesson. And they stopped the Wranglers. They shut them down. The comeback does not happen, and Shreveport is able to get the win. I think for the Wranglers, you think back to when the Wranglers were 6-0. And what were the Wranglers doing really well when they were 6-0? They were forechecking aggressively. They were wreaking havoc in the opponent's zone. They were stuffing exit attempts at the opposition's blue line. they were making life difficult, especially in the attacking end and in the neutral zone. Over the last couple of games, we haven't really seen that as much from the Wranglers, and it seems like when the other team has the puck, the ice is just opening up and they're going the other way on breaks and moving in transition with speed, and the Wranglers just haven't been able to solve it over the last couple of games. And so I think when Odessa comes to town next week, that's another team that, at least last year, they're another running gun team, like to move with speed, move in transition. The Wranglers need to find a way to solve that kind of hockey and find a formula to stop it if they want to have success against the Jackalopes. So speaking of Odessa, let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we wrap things up here from the Budweiser Bull Pen. As the Jackalopes were at NYTEX Sports Center here today, that game in its final stages, and the outcome is not in doubt. The Lone Star Brahmas have a 6-1 lead with 2:30 left in the third, so the Jackalopes will fall to 6-9. The Brahmas will improve to 12-2-0-1 and add to their lead at the top of the South Division. So Odessa, coming off a big loss, will be hungry to get back into the win column, and the Wranglers, who have lost their last two, will also be just as hungry to get another win. So you got two teams who are starving for a win here coming next week. Should be a good matchup as the Jackalopes ride into the Texas Panhandle for the first meeting of the season between Odessa and Amarillo. That game will be on Thursday at 11 a.m. It's a morning game, 11 a.m. Kids' Day game. Good time for a field trip. College kids welcome as well. $5 tickets, I believe, so you can't beat that deal. What a deal that is. Just skip class at that point, honestly. You get a better learning experience here than in the classroom. So, come on down to the Budweiser Bull Pen. Get your tickets at planhandletickets.com. And in other news, over at El Paso County Event Center, through two periods, the Colorado Grit have a 1-0 lead over the Rhinos. And that helps because if El Paso wins today with the Wranglers losing, well, then it's a three-way tie for third place in the South Division. Finally, over at Outpost Ice Arenas, the Ice Wolves have a 3-0 lead over the Warriors with 13:26 and counting left in the second period. So those two are in the 8th and 9th spots in the South Division, trying to find their way on the upswing. New Mexico, with a win today, I believe, can climb into 8th spot in the division. So that's your post-game roundup here from the Budweiser Bull Pen. Again, the Wranglers in search of answers defensively and, I would say offensively too. And it seemed like last year the Wranglers were able to outscore some of their defensive problems. If they got in a bind, it would be okay. You get some top guys that can make a play and score some goals for you to get you the win. And this year, outside the first line and the second line, which has started to produce ever since those three have been paired together, not a whole lot for the Wranglers there in terms of offense. So you get Serrato on the blue line. You got your top six, but you need those depth guys to step up, and we'll see if they can do it against Odessa next week as the Wranglers look to get back to the win column. That'll do it for us here at the Budweiser Bull Pen. Once again, your final score is 4-2 Shreveport. Say a big hello to Mudbugs broadcaster Chet Yoder, who's back at home. He did not make the trip. Always good to see Chet. I was hoping he might be able to make the trip here this weekend, but wasn't able to. So, Chet, see you sometime down the line. Miss you, buddy. You're one of the best in the business. And for Mudbug fans, hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Wrangler fans as well. As always, thank you for tuning in to the Wranglers Hockey Network and this presentation of the North American Hockey League. Once again, your final score, the Mudbugs 4, the Wranglers 2. Shreveport picks up a pair of wins here at the Budweiser Bull Pen on the first weekend of November. Don't forget to set your clocks as daylight savings will hit. And we'll see you next week when the Jackalopes ride into the Budweiser Bull Pen for the first meeting of the season on Thursday. I'm Guy Chiarenza saying so long, and we'll see you next week on the Wranglers Hockey Network.